during the day. Okay, so we're live. Finally, finally got my thing together here, and we're playing some Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I guess you'd call it, Oriental Adventures. So I haven't played this since I was a young child 2 years ago. I haven't played it since the 80s or whenever it came out. So we're going to kind of run through it. We got a pretty cool crew here, and we're running a module called the Kappa at Pachee Bridge, which is from a Dragon magazine. And as we start off, the group of 4 adventurers have been traveling. You're actually traveling towards Hinomoto, which is actually a different island. So you're traveling through the land to get to the ocean. So you can go off to this island. On the way, you've been traveling for about a week or so together. So, you know, this safety in numbers. So we do have kind of a interesting mixed bunch of characters, but you decided that as to not be waylaid by bandits and such, that you will be traveling together, and you are heading through these kind of semi-hilly area with some bamboo forest and lots of farms. Farms which take you for the night or whatever. So you guys have been traveling along pretty successfully. You've got maybe like another week or so left in the journey. So as you're kind of traveling midday through this kind of rough road on the countryside, we'll kind of do a little intro for our characters. You guys can tell us who you're playing, a little bit about them, and then we'll move forward. So I'm just going to go with my left, which is Dean.
Okay, I'm playing Tamatoyo Shimizu. He still uses the Shimizu clan moniker, even though he left the clan as they had nothing to offer him. The family was essentially dirt poor and very little for influence. And he took up the life of a priest at the temple. And he is now following the path of enlightenment. Pretty average looking fellow, except that he's got black and gray speckled hair. Not like he's got gray around the temples or anything. His entire hair is speckled. Walks with a staff, but doesn't appear to be wearing any armor or carrying any other weapon.
Very cool. Okay, so you're traveling around, traveling priest. And with you, I guess, is John's character.
I am John Lamb. I'm portraying Obi Kabagashi. He is a kensei, a single weapon master. He uses a big dao, and he follows the path of a warrior poet. So he travels the countryside seeking enlightenment, playing his mournful songs in the style of the Kumyoso Zen. So he wears his basket and plays his flute. And he doesn't seek any riches or power or anything like that. He's just wanting to hone his skills with the flute. And if he has to, then he'll employ the skills with the sword. But that's not his primary mission in life. He's really just trying to find enlightenment. It just happens to be that his profession is using a blade. So he's just traveling the countryside looking for that next step towards enlightenment.
Fantastic. And traveling with you, I guess, is Crystal. Tell us about your character.
I'm playing Katsumi Fukushima. She is a Wujin. She grew up in upper class, so she has very delicate features about her. Would cause some to underestimate her skills, but just growing up in that life, being the youngest child, seeing her brothers and sisters get married and such, she just kind of felt like that life wasn't for her at the moment, and she wants to find some great mystery about the universe, something to maybe bring honor to her family in that way. Maybe get their names heard about further throughout the land for for figuring out some great mystery that no one has been able to figure out yet.
Also a practitioner of the magical arts. And finally, Yong.
My character's name is Kenichi Ryuzaki. So his actual, first name is Kenichi. He's also known as One-Eyed Ryuzaki. He has an eye patch on one, and the other eye that he's almost going blind. So he's got real terrible eyesight. But he claims to be an expert with the bow, the longbow. So he's a very dangerous character to be around, not because he's a lethal warrior, but because he's just, halfway blind. By the way, he's really ugly. So you would walk down the street, you look at him and say, oh my God, what the hell happened to that guy? So, that's him. He also carries, 2 swords. One's a long sword, the katana. The other one's a shorter wakizashi. He tries to do, he tried to use both swords at the same time in Nito style. That's how he ended up getting one eye. So he wouldn't try that anymore. So he also follows his lord. He was sent to the area. He was actually sent to a place called Panchiki, but he was wandering around, and because he's a man, he would never ask for directions, and actually ended up hitching with you guys because he actually thought you guys were heading to Panchiki, but it's actually Pachee Bridge where you're headed. So he realized that recently, and he curses himself, but hopefully the area that he's headed for is pretty nearby. So that's where we are.
Okay.
It's funny.
Yes, you guys are traveling along. Again, heading towards the Pachee Bridge, which is it's a pretty ancient structure, and you know that you're going to eventually cross it. It's probably none of you have seen such a big bridge in your life. It was built during some wars about 500 years ago, and it essentially stretches over what is more a lake than a river. So as you're kind of heading, through these fields and stuff, you kind of come up over a hilltop, and you look down, and you can actually see off in the distance, a couple miles, the bridge and the lake, and you see the fields, the rice fields, and a small village, and some farmers kind of spread out and stuff. As you start to approach, and you're a couple of you are on horses. You're traveling. Farmers and such start to notice you, and you see that they stop what they're doing and they start to head towards you. And as you get closer to the gate to the village that you have to go through in order to pass, most of the villages come out now, which is around 20 or 30 people, and they're standing back a bit, and they wait for you to approach, and a village elder steps forward, you assume, because he's a bit of an older gentleman, and he says, he gets down, he bows, and he says, you look to be great warriors, I see. And he kind of gestures towards the fact that you're, armed, at least a samurai anyways, and he says, we need help. Our village has been victim to the boy of the bridge. He's always been here, but as of late he's taken to eating children. We need your help.
Eating children, huh? That doesn't sound too good. He turns over to the priest and says, what do you suggest we do? Tomotozo, did you listen? The boy under the bridge is eating children. Are you going to let that happen?
A most unfortunate situation. Definitely needs attention.
The samurai turns over to the farmer and says, I, Kenichi Ryuzaki, vow by my honor to help you recover your children.
Oh, thank you. The bridge is but 1 mile past. The boy is very dangerous. It must be approached carefully. He has taken 5 children.
Ost?
And at this point, 2 more people step forward. One of them is a very, very, very old man. And he says, he looks to the samurai, he says, no, you should know this creature cannot be killed by the sword. It is a creature of great magic.
Oh, it is a very good thing. I use a bow instead of a sword.
He says, this creature has been around since the time of my father's father.
You need not worry. I am a practitioner of the magical arts. I will be able to perhaps do some harm to this creature and get it to leave, if not completely destroy it for you.
So as you say that, actually, he says to you, no, you must not destroy the creature. There is a great curse to those who kill such. You must just make it stop.
Yes. I will do my best to get it to stop for you and your village.
Have you called for a priest to bless the bridge, to seal him from, to make him go to sleep or to leave the area?
No, there's no wandering priests have come through until now. There are no priests here.
We might be able to rectify that situation, as one now stands before you. I have not been through this territory before, but I see there is need of the services I offer.
Indeed, we can't offer you much. We're a poor village, and you definitely can see that. But they say we can offer you some livestock or anything we have as payment.
I seek not payment. Food and shelter for myself is all I travel for. I carry everything I own. I cannot speak for the others of the traveling group, as I have joined them only a few weeks ago. But myself, I do my services for food and shelter.
I just travel for enlightenment and experience. One place is as good as another as long as I'm doing something useful.
I too, by my moral compass, am obligated to help you. But I am to collect 3,500 ryo from Pachee. I'm a tax collector for my lord. So if you could help me navigate to that place once we are done helping you, then I will be most grateful.
Well, that we can certainly do.
But I have a question for you.
Yes.
You said that the boy under the bridge has started eating children only recently. Has he not eaten children before?
Well, there are stories of when my grandfather was alive, where the boy under the bridge would occasionally eat a person. But normally we throw chickens or the occasional cow into the lake for him, and he leaves us alone. But lately, he's taken to capturing children again, and also the merchant that normally comes through every moon has not arrived. He's much late.
The merchant, huh? He nods.
Yeah, if everybody wants to roll a percentage, you'll get it like a rumor. But something else that will be told you. So I'll just start from my left, just keep life easy. So Dean, we lose somebody? No, okay. Dean, roll a percentage and let me know what you get.
77.
77. Okay, so yeah, the somebody comes to you and he says, one of the villagers comes up and says, he's been around for years and he's immortal. John, roll percentage and let me know what you get for your rumor.
Mine? 13.
13. Okay, so a woman comes up and she says, "But he does not only like flesh; he loves melons.
Melons.
We used to bring them as gifts." Crystal, a little deep percentage for me.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I was muted. Obi got a 7.
Okay. Okay, so they go to Obi and he says, "Great swordsman, if you defeat him, know that you will be cursed. If you kill him, you will be cursed."
I got a 75.
Okay. You should know that he can grow to 5 times his size.
What's his normal size? Is he the size of a toad? 5 times would be a human man size. What?
No, he is the size of a young child, a young boy.
Ah.
Maybe 3 feet tall. 3 feet.
Can you describe what he looks like?
Yes, of course. We've all seen him. He's been here before any of us were born. And they kind of, you piece together from their description that he looks like a small boy. But he's got kind of like exaggerated pointy features. And he has the most notable feature is he has a shell on his back like a turtle.
Okay.
Oh, and his head there's a depression on his head. His head is like set inside, like a valley.
Right.
Yeah.
So, are the character sheets? Do we assume the lore that we personally know, or are we just going on what
you don't know about this? Yeah, at your level, you wouldn't have encountered this shit.
Okay, so gotcha. Very good.
Not based on their description.
Well, that is most bizarre. All right.
Being raised in a small town and my family owning like a farm, would I know that those that work fields and stuff are prone to superstition and exaggeration?
Yeah, you could definitely think that. I mean, this is the entire town, but sure, they seem pretty legit.
You mentioned that you would offer melons before. Did you stop offering melons?
Well, we haven't been able to because the farmer has stopped bringing them as something maybe they're trying to calculate back, but they give you a rough estimate of about 6 or 7 weeks ago. The farmer that used to come through once in a while with melons and various other like fruits to trade with them has not come through in a while. He used to come through all the time, but now he's not.
And you don't grow the melons locally?
No, we grow rice. It's all kind of rice paddies around here.
When you would leave the melons for him, would you leave them by the water side? Would you drop them into the water? Would you leave them on a rock? Would you leave them in the same spot every time?
Yeah, right. So whatever they've been offering to it, whether it be the melons or the chickens or anything, well, if it's a cow or something, they walk it into the water. But everything else, they go into the center of the bridge and they throw it in the water.
And they would just drop it in the water?
Yeah. And he would come up. I mean, they see him. This is something that they say that this is not an unusual thing. Like this boy in the bridge is not like. I mean, you see him. If he swims around, I mean, it's not uncommon to be seen. And the fact that they're mostly fishermen and farmers here, and with the fishermen always go out in small groups to make sure the boy doesn't, kind of cause them any harm because he's a bit of a troublemaker.
Right.
Doesn't normally eat anybody. They haven't seen him eat anybody. But people have been disappearing, and they know that it's the nature of such a creature. Also, they know it eats fish and stuff. I mean, it doesn't only eat people. In fact, that's a new thing, or relatively new.
when the merchant would come to town and the farmer would come to town and he would sell or trade his melons, was there anybody in town who was also known to favor the melons that maybe would keep some for themselves?
Yeah, they don't. I mean, certain people love melons, but you mean like they may be hoarding them? Is what you
Not
think?
necessarily hoarding, but let's say that old Uncle Jew, he was known for loving the melons, and he would always make sure to get a handful of the melons every time. Somebody like that, somebody that really favors the melons, in addition to the boy.
Not really.
Now, Obi, I do understand the love of melons. I am a father of 3 children, so I understand, but I would not go off and start eating children just because I'm missing my melons.
The child doesn't sound like a man, so it would be hard to decide the whims of a creature. What I was thinking is if somebody was known for eating melons, and we might be able to find where melons had seeded near where that person kept their garbage, or perhaps they may have planted them to hide them, and we could find some melons to use as bait or as an offering.
Oh, interesting.
That's the direction I was going.
Yeah, not particularly. It's not really the right soil for them to grow, and it's been a while. So there's not been any melons growing, but that's pretty clever to grow your own melons. I mean, they would grow them if they could, but
I will pursue it one more time, and in that, is there anyone in town that is known for being a gardener? Not a farmer, but a gardener, maybe growing the herbs and so forth, like that small thing. Somebody that's known specially for being a gardener, because they would be the type that would collect the seeds and perhaps grow them on the side, and maybe for nothing else other than the flowers, because melons are known for having bright, big flowers. Maybe they don't even consider it for the melon. They might just discard the melons per se.
Yeah, no, I see the line you're going at, and there's definitely people. Most of the women grow herbs and stuff. So and it's a very small town. They're all out here, so you can very easily ask. And there is a man that named Yeyu. He says that they have tried to grow them in the past, but they do not grow here. The soil is not right for it. The melons because it's much too wet here.
How far away is the town that grows melons from here?
About 5 miles.
Oh,
that is not too long. We could ride there and come back within the same day.
Agreed.
Perhaps
perhaps one of us should stay at the bridge to offer vigilance in the meantime.
I would offer to stay and talk to the boy if I see him, but most people just run away.
Perhaps you have something in common with the child of the water.
I do not have a horse to ride so far or so fast in one day, but I would be willing to watch the bridge. And actually, I want to inquire about the possibility they have no priest in this area. What if it definitely sounds like this boy of the bridge is an evil character if he is willing to eat children and attack people, even though he may be just troublesome at times. But would a blessing or a sanctification of the area make it unfavorable for him to stay without killing him per se?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do like a general blessing of the area. Mechanically, you're because with your class, you can do it over a very small area. I think it's like 10 feet or something. So you could like go on the bridge and do it. Whether or not it would keep him away, it really depends on what he is. What you can keep away generally is things like demons and stuff. So if he's a demon, then yeah, it would work. But if he's just some other kind of like monstery kind of creature, then it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was inquiring about in character was what they think a blessing might do if he's truly evil. Sanctifying the area might make it unfavorable for him to stay.
Yeah, basically you could do it, They want you to do it. Is basically, that they would be like, yes, of course, we would want the area to be sanctified. But I'm just letting you know mechanically what it does. So yeah, like it doesn't necessarily. But you definitely can do what's called a purification.
It sounds like that we're gonna have to go past the bridge anyway if we're gonna go to this village. So let us stop at the bridge while we're there and see if we can coax the creature out without using melons. And if melons be required, I will stay with the priest while the others ride to get melons.
That has validity. The more I think about it, I don't know that any of us should go get melons, but if we end up doing it, only one should go, and the rest should stay and protect the people of the village. Maybe we could find someone that is a swift rider that maybe knows the farmer and would have to have less searching involved.
Well, my horse Kaze would be able to come back. If it's only 5 miles, then I can ride it up there and return within 1/5 of a day.
You could
Would
take
you not
one.
say this?
Yes.
Sounds
Maybe you
okay.
could take one of the children from the village because they would be light, and let them identify the farmer.
Yeah, there's only. I muted you for a second just because of the noise. There's only. I mean, they're all standing around. I'm assuming you're asking people, so I'll just give you information that you would have. But yeah, they can tell you where it is for sure. I mean, it's pretty simple to get to it. You could take one of them if you want. They do not have horses, so you would have to take them on a horse. They're pretty poor. They have a couple of like cows. Maybe they have some like draft like work kind of horses, but not horses that they could ride quickly there. So if you want, you can take them with you, but they won't be tremendously fast. Yeah, and you can cast a purification on the bridge. It does take, I think, a turn. So it only takes 10 minutes or so. So yeah, you definitely can do that. It's not a big deal. You have, I think I gave you like incense and stuff, right? So you should be able to do that. But you'll need to use that.
Okay, so
one
let us go.
last question for the group. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my suggestion would be that we simply go to the bridge, purify it so that we can get this monster out. And I will use my magical arts, if need be, to persuade it to move on further away from us and further from this village.
What about a net? Do the people there have like a fishing net, a bigger net?
Yeah, they do have fishing nets. Actually, they say that if you were to head down towards where the lake is, they have boats, and they do have fishing nets and some bamboo spears that they use for fishing, and they're more than willing to loan them to you. Whatever you need that can help.
If they don't want us to kill them, and the nets might be the best option. We could force him into negotiation and possibly figure out first if he is evil, and then secondly negotiate with him to stop eating people and take the offerings again. Find out what has changed his position.
Well, clearly the thing that has changed, he's been there since before the people were there, so I don't know that the answer is moving him away, but I suspect that I suspect creatures like this sometimes aren't evil any more than a tornado is evil. A tornado kills people, but it doesn't mean that it's evil. But in this case, I think that he's upset or wanting something else, and it's probably the melons. He was used to getting the melons. He doesn't get them, and either he needs something from the melons, or maybe he's just upset.
While you talk, I will ride and find as much melon as possible.
Good luck.
Okay.
and then he rides on his horse and starts galloping off.
You're going to ride up to the farm with the gnomes?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, awesome.
Now he's an actual samurai, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in all honesty, he could probably get the melons for free, just telling them to give me the melons, by position, just by having the swords. That'll be fun.
Yeah, you could certainly coax the melons out of people. So yes, that's going to take you a little bit to get there. Okay, so while he's riding, what do you guys want to do? Right now, you're currently in the village. People are starting to disperse to go back to work, but a couple of people are.
They said that they have.
I definitely want to go to where the fishermen are and get the nets and possibly at least a boat.
Okay.
And some fishermen if I can get them.
Yeah, they don't want to face the thing, so they'll tell you right now that they're not going to go out there to face it. So.
Okay, well
they're more than welcome to take a boat, but they're not going to go out in the water with you.
Okay, well then the boat or skiff, and then a net or two would be good.
Okay. Yeah, so essentially you're going. I'll just hold this up so you guys can see. A little pencil. All right, so.
Those the coconuts.
That's how we do it. There we go. All right. So you doesn't jump off me when you make noise. Okay, so you're basically here at the village. The bridge is here. This is the lake. Rice paddies are here. They keep their boats, in this general area. So
okay, it's not too far then.
Yeah, you'll go down the road and then kind of go off. They have like a path basically that goes around the small hill. There's no other rice paddies, and then there's like a skiff or boat here, and that's where the fishermen go out. Yeah. So you're generally going into.
So in the process, have they tried offering the water child something that they do have? Like if they've got rice, have they tried like sweet rice treats or sticky rice squares or anything else that they may have? Have they tried anything else? Offering anything else?
I mean, they no. I mean, they feed it meat basically because that's generally what it eats. But it has access to the rice paddies, so they assume that if it liked rice, it would just eat the rice itself. But they have not made any treats for it. No, they haven't tried that. They could certainly get on that if you would like them to try.
Yeah, no, definitely. I want them to offer the thing that they make with their rice.
Yeah, they definitely make some kind of puddings or whatever.
Sure, something like that. Whatever they got that is their best, that is something that they could replicate. You know what I'm saying? Something that they like, that tastes good, that they could replicate. Maybe we could try something like that. And then they can continue using that. And they have plenty of rice, so.
Yeah, so some of the women folk get on that, and they start making their the treat that they normally make around the various holidays. So they start to cook that up. So rice pudding or whatever it would be.
And as a second thought, do they make anything related to like a blood sausage, where they use the rice as a binder and they use blood, like from pork blood or chicken blood or cow blood? That's very common amongst the poor people because they use all of the organ meats and everything.
Yeah, they don't eat a lot of meat. They mostly eat fish. The cows that they have, they use for milk. And they use the milk to make cream, and they get the sweetness and stuff from that. That's basically what they're using it for. They don't eat meat. Like very rarely do they eat meat. Like meat.
Okay.
Meat.
Well, he remembers a recipe that he had seen where they used blood in a sweet pudding. So he's going to say to take him to one of their cows, and he's just going to make a small cut and drain off like a cup of blood, and he's going to pinch it closed, and he's going to seal it and make sure that it doesn't continue to bleed out, but just to have a cup of the blood and have them add it to make the rice dish, and then make the same rice dish with the added blood, just to see if it prefers the flavor of the blood with it.
Okay. What's your charisma?
Okay, hold on. It
Yeah,
is
you're cutting their cow and asking them to make stuff with blood. They're
a tiny little cut.
Yeah, I got you. What is it?
It's quite horrible, actually.
Mhm.
Well,
What is it?
with his best intentions in mind, he's coming at it with a 6.
Oh, you're a criminal 6? Okay, so you're minus 10.
But he does have an extremely high wisdom. So,
Yeah, that doesn't mean.
no. The concept here is that he realizes he's not the nicest person. So he would have gone about it a little more delicately now that I realize he just remembers how difficult he is to get along with people.
Yeah, they're not so hip on you cutting their cow open. I mean, they're afraid of you, you know, in the level that you have weapons and stuff, and they don't, so they wouldn't stop you. But you can tell they're not in favor of this.
Okay, all right. Let's try this a different direction. Who would be the closest town elder near him?
No, you are talking to the town elders. Yeah.
Okay, so with the town elders, and all right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Obi will go. Will explain. He says, "I understand that I'm a stranger and that it may be difficult to understand my ways, but the water child prefers meat and blood.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
we don't have a lot of meat and blood to offer, and we don't want the problem to remain if and when we leave. If the problem is temporarily solved." You have a lot of rice, and you can make these wonderful rice dishes. If we were to add a small measure of blood, just a small amount, and offer it to him, the cow wouldn't be injured, and they wouldn't be eating your children. So, although I understand it's a very weird idea, and it would be probably terrible for us to eat it, you have rice and you have access to some blood. Maybe the blood cakes would satisfy the creature, and you'd stop eating your children. So I'm not thinking of permanently injuring your animal or killing your animals, but just a small flavor that maybe the creature would stop.
Yep, all that, and they still are freaked out by the fact you want to cut up the cow.
Okay.
You can explain it any way you want. They still don't want you to. Again, they're not going to stop you. They're going to do it, but you can tell that at this moment you are not like. They're kind of eyeballing you and kind of stepping away from you and not really wanting to.
All right. Well, is there another option? Yeah,
I mean, that's yeah. So anyway,
at this point, I think we need to actually go as a group to the bridge and see if we can get the boy at the bridge to come up and at least talk with him, or try and talk with him, and figure out if that will be a successful option. And if we present it more as the only option they have to keep saving their children, then they might look at it differently.
Yeah, I won't cut their animal if they don't want me to, but it was just a thought. We'll just take the boat and the nets then.
Okay, so you want to go down to the rice paddies first or to the bridge first? Or are we splitting up again?
By the way, I was going to go get the boat and the net.
Okay.
If they come with me, that's great. But we're hoping that the old ladies will provide the rice dish.
Yeah, I'll stay with you for this part. There's no need to split us up farther.
Okay, how about I gotta get everybody's names. How about Katsumi?
Katsumi is not interested in getting in a boat, to be completely honest. She's just gonna head to the bridge.
Okay. Okay, so you also have a horse, right? Yeah, I think you have a horse.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you can ride to the bridge, no problem. So, Kenichi, you ride across the bridge, no problem. I mean, you don't. Do you stop there, or just ride over it and go to where you're going? Kenichi, I muted you. Sorry, because it was noisy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I continue. I continue to to head to that town with the melons.
Okay. Did you want to stop at the bridge at all and look around, or are you just going to ride right over it and just keep going?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna actually stop by the bridge.
Okay.
And am I alone, all by myself?
Yeah, you're by yourself. Yeah.
And then he's gonna look around, and there's no one around. So he peers over the bridge and says, "Oi, oi! boy under the bridge.
Okay. Let me see if he's there. Okay, so he is. So you stop and you call.
Yeah, I just stop and call. I'm still on my horse.
Yeah. So this is a really wide bridge. It's something like 20 feet wide. So yeah, so you're kind of you're in the middle, obviously, and you can see that it's 500 feet long. It's a pretty long bridge. You stop and you call out, and after a few seconds, you hear some splashing, like something swimming under the bridge, and then you hear a voice. It sounds like a young boy, and he says, "Help me! I'm drowning."
Ryuzaki peers over and says, "Oh, you are a crafty one. You're already swimming and you came out of water and you want me to help you."
Yeah. So he laughs a little bit and he kind of climbs up the on the edge of the bridge and you see him pop his head over and you see he kind of does look like a person, but he's definitely got some like a really pointy features, like a pointy nose and like ears drawn back. And the top of his head is recessed, almost like a bowl, which is filled with water. And he has a turtle shell on his back, but he's about the size of a small boy. And he's kind of sitting on the edge like this. And he looks at you.
You look like a mutant. How old are you, boy?
I am 358 years old.
You are definitely not a teenager.
Definitely not.
He looks at him and says, "They say, the townspeople say that you have been eating their children. Is this true?" And then Ryuzaki grabs onto his eye patch and reveals his other, eye. And there's no eye underneath. He tries to use intimidate. I don't know if there's a roll for it.
So you try to freak him out with your eye patch.
Yeah. Are you telling the truth?
Yeah. He looks at you and he's like, ugh. He says, "You know what I like to eat? Horses."
Well, how about this? I go and get you some nice fresh melons. A lot of them. Would you consider letting my horse and myself go to get them?
How about this? Your charisma's low too, right?
Yeah, my charisma's only 8. It's terrible.
Because you on your sheet where it said you have a reaction bonus. Actually, you probably had it too, but I forgot that. Because of your social, because you're a samurai, I think you have like a plus 30.
Okay, I don't have that information handy.
Yeah, if you go into the back of your, I think it's like the page as your family tree. There should be a reaction adjustment there.
Okay, hold on a second.
But there's no reaction adjustment for charisma, so that's actually normal. Let's see. I'll quickly look. So yeah, so basically, I'm just curious as how he's going to react. So I'm going to use with the base mind. Quickly look at your character. So based on your social standing, you also get a reaction adjustment, and because you're obviously a samurai, I'm just going to. So you get plus 30%.
Okay, I'm going to roll percentile.
I got it.
Okay.
Well, actually, he says, "I am a samurai. How about this? I will wrestle you."
You want to wrestle me? You want to wrestle me or my horse?
I will wrestle you, and if I win, I get the horse. And if I lose, then you can go get more, which I also like.
Well, that is a very fine idea if you are the size of a little boy. But I am told by the villagers that you can grow 5 times as much as you are now.
He looks at you and says, "I promise I will not grow."
And as a shogi player, it is never a good idea to wrestle somebody who could be 5 times as much. I have very little reason to trust you at this point. So let's just say goodbye for now. I will get you melons, and then we will talk later.
He says, "Okay," and he kind of pushes himself off and splashes into the water.
And Ryuzaki says, "Whew, I dodged that one." And he continues to ride off.
All right, so yeah. Okay, so you're heading towards the the rice paddies. You head down the road towards the village, and of course, this all happened while you guys were still in town. So you're heading down. You guys split off. The Katasumi goes to the bridge, and the other two go to basically where the rice paddies are, and the boats where they told you. And you go down and you see that there are in fact some fishermen out there, and the boats are basically just like rafts essentially. And they see you coming, and they know who you are because they were all up at the village, half an hour ago when you guys were talking. So when they see you coming, they turn and they say, have you come to take care of the boy?
Yes, indeed. I need at least one of your boats, and then a couple nets that I would like to borrow, so that we could perhaps corral the boy up, so that we could have a conversation without him getting away.
So they say, oh yes, and they get there's like 4 or 5 of them, and they've got 2 boats. So they all gather onto one boat. They were going to take 2 boats out. They get onto one boat and they leave the other one available with some bamboo sticks to like push it, and a couple of nets sitting on it. And they say, "It's our honor for you to use our boat. Thank you."
And the water child, he's known for eating fish as well, correct?
Yes, fish. Animals.
Will he eat old fish, or does he want them fresh? Does he maybe like old pickled fish?
Pickled fish. Nobody's ever fed him a pickled fish that I know.
Do they pickle their fish here? Yes, you pickle your fish?
Of course. Who doesn't pickle their fish?
Smoked fish, dried fish, all that kind of stuff?
Yes. Yeah. We should try that as well. Where can we get some pickled and dried fish?
They kind of look at each other, and they like pull out, like they have those like cloth things wrapped around them. They open up and they unroll it, and they each have like a little bit of food for their lunch, and they give it to you. There's some dried and pickled fish.
In the effort to protect your children, we're going to offer him these local delicacies to see if maybe he likes these as well.
To possibly placate him with something that's easier to supply than imported melons.
And if they've never tried it, he might actually prefer pickled fish to anything. So we don't know.
Yep. In the interest of negotiation, what is the biggest net that you have, and how deep is the waters around the bridge?
So all the nets are the same size. It's like a 10-foot,
cast net.
Cast net, typical net. They say the water is, somewhere around, 10 to 15 meters, roughly, in most of the lake. It's a little deeper around the bridge.
So the narrows of the lake is actually the deep part.
Yes.
Deep trench through the narrows.
Right,
Okay.
because the water's coming from the from that direction. This is actually this part of the lake is created partially by a dam, because it's kind of like it's not really a full dam. It's like floodgates to flood the fields. So this part of the lake is actually the most shallow, and the other part is but most vast, and then the other part of the lake is deeper. The other side of the bridge.
These partial floodgates, these are nothing new. They've been around for a long time, correct? They're like a levee system.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing new.
No, definitely not new. Not within their lifetime.
So my general understanding, the general understanding is the only thing that's really changed to possibly cause this water child to act differently is that he no longer was getting his melons. Does that sound about right? We haven't had a weird change in the weather. The water hasn't changed. The fish haven't disappeared. Nobody's been peeing in the water. It's just nothing else really different except that he didn't get his melons and now he's eating your children.
I mean, you're making that connection. They don't seem to see that being a thing. I mean,
okay, well, very well. They're more interested in going fishing. I got it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't feed it as many horses as they used to. There's a lot of different things that I can't. The villagers can't account for, that nothing else has changed. So
okay, very good.
As far as we know, I mean, Every once in a while, he eats children, but it's been a long time, like something like 2 generations since he's eaten children last. Although he does occasionally, like if somebody messes with him, he's killed people, but not like just eaten them randomly. Because sometimes travelers and stuff come through. I mean, he's a vicious little bastard.
And as far as you know, there's only been the one. There's not multiples of them. There's just one water child. There's no water girl. There's no water family. They're just the one.
They do not believe that there is a different that there's more than one now.
How long has the bridge been there?
500 years.
Okay. All right. Well, then we will carry on with our little boat and the nets.
Okay. So you're going to go out into the lake?
I will. I'm going to stay as close to the shore as manageable, as deep as it needs to be to pull through, so that worst case scenario, I end up in the water. I won't be too deep of water.
The little boat shouldn't take much more than about 3 or 4 feet to keep afloat. So imagine we could punt it within 10 feet of the shore all the way around to the bridge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can stay right near the shore.
So
yeah, they use them in the patties when they flood them. I mean, that's a very, very shallow. It's a raft, basically.
I will offer up to Toma there. What would you think about me playing one of my songs? On the one hand, it might attract the water child. And on the other hand, it might attract the water child. So he might be interested and curious and happy, or he might be interested, pissed off, and hungry. What do you think? Play the tune or not play the tune?
I recommend we go pick up Katsumi at the bridge first, and then try your tune. But I like your idea. One way or the other, he's going to investigate it.
Cool.
A tune like this, and he starts playing his song.
That's what you start playing your music as you're already on the boat. I'm assuming, right? You're starting to push away.
Yeah, we're right on the edge of the water there.
So basically, you're sitting down playing a flute while
Tamatoyo is pushing.
Tamatoyo is doing the boat.
Well, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so
we all have our skills and our place in the world.
Yeah. So Katsumi, you show up at the bridge, and again, it's a big bridge. It spans over 500 feet across. It is relatively low to the water, only about 4 or 5 feet off the water, but it has a huge expanse because it's going over essentially a lake. Like I said, it's about 20 feet wide, and of course, blah. Let me see. What did you want to do when you get to the bridge?
Can I have asked for some paper back at the village? Would they have had any?
They probably don't have paper because they've done it before. They might have cloth you could write on or something.
I was thinking about doing origami.
Oh. Well, hold on. Let me see. I'll give it a chance, but I don't think so. Yeah, no, they didn't have any paper. They're pretty poor.
Okay, that's understandable. Okay. Are
there maples in the area? Maybe there's some big leaves or something. You use a green leaf.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop before the bridge. Is there a place I can tie my horse up to the side of the road?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
about 20, 30 feet out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll say it's like bamboo forest around it. I mean, there's probably a rock or something or a stump.
Okay. There's bamboo. I'm gonna take a shoot of that bamboo, and I'm gonna start walking as if I'm just kind of using it as a basically a walking stick or whatever. And I'm gonna go to the bridge, and I'm gonna look out down below.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can just see anything first there.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk out onto the bridge, and like I said, it's about maybe it's got a little bit of an arch to it, obviously. But even in its highest point, it's maybe 6 feet off the water, and it's pretty nondescript. There's no sidewalk or sides to it. It's literally just a bridge. It is made out of stone, though.
Okay. So there's no like small walls
Nope.
or anything like that. Okay.
Walk right to the edge of it.
And I'm going to say, like, I'm just a poor woman walking along. I sure hope there are no monsters under this bridge.
Okay. Yeah, and you're gonna walk across the bridge, or you're just standing on the bridge?
I'm going to begin to walk across it. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a pretty long bridge, but you get to the other side unmolested.
So, do you respect women, or do you just not like the taste of them?
Who, me?
I'm asking
No, I
under the bridge.
I know. No, nobody replies.
Okay, gonna walk back over the bridge again. This time I'm gonna stomp over it a little bit.
Okay. You hear basically just as you turn around and start to come back, you hear a terrible sound coming from your horse.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you hear it like scream. And then you actually see this little boy, basically, it looks like he's tiny, dragging your horse into the water. And yeah, he's pretty far away, so you probably can't get to him before he gets into the water, I'm going to say.
How far away is he?
You're about 500 or more feet away from him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And yeah, by the time you see him, which is when he's at the edge of the bridge, and then like you see him and splash into the water.
There are no range weapons that could get to him in time.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. Not
Okay.
that far. Actually, it's technically 500 yards because they're on your outside. So yeah, nothing goes up that I know of. Maybe a longbow, but I don't think you have a longbow. If only.
No.
Kenshi was here. Kenshi.
Oh well.
Yeah, so you hear a splash. And yeah, if you were to run back or walk back to the other side, your horse is not there, but you do see a big pool of blood. And yeah, your horse and the saddlebags and everything is gone. Like it didn't like strip the horse down; it just dragged the whole thing into the water.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's going on. So you're mourning your horse. So Kenichi, Kenichi, I keep calling you Kenichi because that's how I talk. Kenichi, you end up you follow the road, and it starts to go past out of this bamboo type area and up kind of some more hills, and it's a different type of land up here where they can grow grapes and melons and stuff like that. It's more like where they can make various fruit orchards, if you will. And you head towards the house. Well, you see it from maybe like a mile away. You see it's a small house, but it is stone built, and there's a chimney in it, and then or a hole in the ceiling, and you see smoke coming out like they're having a fire, but you don't see any people. You just see the house itself.
He gallops toward that house and gets off his horse and rushes in there. His horse is, fairly well disciplined, so it stays put, hopefully.
Okay.
And tries to survey the interior of that house.
Lost him. Okay. So inside the house, which is kind of a big open space with a kind of a fire pit in the center, doesn't have any interior walls. It's just like a big house, so you can actually look to the side and you see some curtains hanging where like the sleeping areas would be of various people. Looks like there's you're taking a quick survey of the space, but what you definitely see inside, which is probably out of the norm, is you see 6 kind of short, grotesque looking creatures. There are various colors. Some of them have wings. Some have like a single horn coming out of their head. Some have fangs. They're all you can see they're kind of the same kind of creature, but they're all a little bit different and mutated. And they're actually sitting around this hearth. They're cooking something, that looks like a human leg. And when you bust in, I'm gonna say because you just busted in, that there's a chance. You totally surprised them, so they are set back for a second. Yeah, this is definitely not the melon farmer for sure. This looks like there's some kind of strange creatures. So you actually have a surprise round, so you could do something before they react if you'd like.
Music, he says, "Yeah, Sama!" And then he slams the door and runs over to the horse and hops on and tries to ride off.
Okay. Nobody was around to see it, so you're okay. Yeah, so you're actually able to do that. You slam the door shut, and they're so surprised by whatever just happened that it takes them a bit. But you're already like bolting down the road before they open up the door, and they yell out at you, but they don't respond. They don't chase you. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, you're running, which is not a bad move. Are you going all the way back to the beach?
By the way, he runs off into the direction that he was riding, and he takes out a bottle of sake and takes a big gulp and says, "I hope I don't get lost."
Okay. So, yeah. So do you want to head back towards the bridge, or are you gonna plot some kind of attack on this guy?
He actually heads back to the bridge this time to rejoin the group. I mean, he sees no point of trying to find some melons because obviously the kid was trying to eat his horse. And, while he was riding off to the other bridge, it dawned on him, there's no way to really, appease that little creature with some melons, So he just decides to go back and join the rest of the group.
Okay. All right, so you're riding back. So as you're mourning your loss of your horse, Kasumi, you see kind of floating along you hear first because of the, I'll say beautiful music. You hear a flute playing, and then you see your friends kind of coming along the shore in a small raft towards you.
Okay.
And of course, you see her sitting on top of the bridge.
Yeah, I'm sitting on top of the bridge, looking down on the water, and I have a bamboo shaft in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm just tapping it angrily on the bridge.
Yeah, get shafted, sure. Okay, so you see your friend up on the bridge. What do you guys like to do? You don't see any sign of the boy right now. Thoughts? What do you guys want to do? You're on the boat. You see her. She sees you. No?
Beckon her to come down to the end of the bridge and join us.
Sorry, I was muted. I was trying to figure it out the button.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's no need. He took my horse. He's not gonna be coming back up for a while.
He has found his blood for the day.
Very clever. I was wondering to offer melons, but instead you offered your horse.
Yes, that's what happened. I offered my horse to him.
Very interesting. You are a curious individual.
You have no idea.
So what's the plan?
Well, let's get the boat tied up to the bridge. You said it's only a few feet up to the bridge, correct?
Yep. Yeah, you could probably just you climb right off the boat onto the bridge, with a little effort, or you could park on the side and walk up.
And then I suspect that the water child is busy consuming horse, so I would say let's spread the net out and have them ready on either side so we can toss it one way or the other near the boat, with the idea of tossing it in. Maybe, do they have like lines tied to them?
Yeah,
a cast line. So I would definitely tie one end of it to the bridge. That way, if it does snag the water child and it tries to swim away, it doesn't drag us away. It's caught. And tie both of them in preparation for
Well, there's not really
utilizing
anything
them.
to tie it to the bridge because the bridge doesn't have any like posts. It's like literally flat. So unless you,
They gotta have some sort of structure to it, some way. If not, I'll punch a hole through one of the pieces of wood.
Actually, it's stone. He said it was stone.
stone. Yeah.
Stone. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a stone bridge. That's why it's been here for 500 years.
good call.
Yeah, it's stone.
Wear a basket over my face most of the time. You'll have to forgive me.
And it has it does have big pylons in the water, but they're very wide, so not nearly they're much too wide to tie around from where you're at.
Okay. Well, I'll tie the lines off to the skiff, to the raft.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. I mean,
There's got to be something on board to.
that's designed for that, so you definitely can do that.
Yeah.
How about this? Before I do that, on the stone bridge, are there holes that go through the bridge to allow drainage from rain?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some drainage on the bridge.
I'll pass the line through one of the holes, going up to the top of the bridge, and tie it onto the cross member of one of the bamboo, creating a T, so that if the line was to be pulled, it couldn't go through because the.
Okay. So you're gonna go under the bridge to do that then. You'll have to go under the bridge to do what you want to do. You'll have to go under the bridge and feed the line up. That's what you're doing.
Brentomo, I believe you said that you were very good at swimming.
I mean, you could go under the bridge with the boat because the bridge only is a.
Oh, okay.
But you're gonna be under the bridge as opposed to next to it, because right now you're next to the bridge. In order to do what you're doing, you're gonna have to crunch down onto the boat, go under the bridge, pass a line up to somebody who's up there, and have them tie it off. That's what you want to do, right?
I'm gonna say that the water child is busy eating horse, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick, and then have the other two watch out for him.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, I'm on the raft with you, so yeah, I can cover you.
Okay, so I'm gonna pass the line up through the thing, and have our
Katsumi tie it up there.
Or Kasumi hang on to the line and then get up there and tie it off to the bamboo skewers there, or the bamboo pole.
Okay.
I'll attempt to tie a knot.
Nice. Yeah, you can do that.
I am Wujin, so I have not spent many hours studying.
All you have to do is hang on to the rope, regardless of what your training is. Just hang on to the rope for a minute.
Okay, I can do that. But you know, I was on the bridge by myself. I had left my horse as an offering. He could have grabbed me, but he decided to go for my horse. So, just saying, maybe this thing.
Maybe he just doesn't like women.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I thought too.
There is a certain smell to be encountered, so you know. Perfumes and such. Some creatures don't like such things.
Yes.
Maybe, especially not to eat. But maybe he just prefers horse flesh primarily. Hasn't had it in some time. But we need to get him. We need to capture him to talk to him first to confirm any of that.
Have we done the rope thing, or am I having this debate when I'm underneath the bridge?
No, I'll do the rope thing.
Yeah.
All right, done. Okay, so we're back on top, and we got the ropes anchored and the nets lined up.
Yeah. So the net is also under the bridge. That's where you put it.
What?
Right? The net's under the bridge, right? I mean, it's got a throw line on it. It's probably like 10 feet. So the net's under the bridge. Right?
No. It's only a 10-foot line.
Yeah. How long?
I was just looking for a way to anchor the line. I wouldn't want to.
Was there extra rope on the fishing boat?
No.
Okay.
No, they stand on the boats and they throw the net out and they pull it back in.
If I'm not able to use the net on the top and toss it down and anchor it that way, then how about we get out of danger and get out from under the bridge, get back on top, and take the bamboo pole.
Okay.
And tie the line onto that and just stick it through the hole.
Okay. You do that.
So that it's down in the hole like that, and then it anchors it like that, and that way, if we have to toss it out, and that way we could pull it back up again if we had to really quick. So we'll try that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yes, you tie it to a bamboo after you stick it through the hole. One of the.
All right. Very good. So while we're occupied with that, hopefully the others are watching the water for dangerous water child.
Yeah, you do that. Nothing seems to come out of the water for quite some time. Are you just going to wait up there for it?
That's the immediate plan. That was my my immediate plan. And if we have a lull in things to do, he'll play another song.
Okay. Yes, you guys are hanging out for a while.
At some point, hopefully, they're going to bring the rice over to the bridge. That's what I'm kind of waiting on.
Yeah, they're not going to bring it to you. That's for sure.
Oh,
as noted, they're afraid of the bridge.
How long did they say they would take to make the rice treats?
It'd probably take until the evening because they have to boil down the milk to make the sweet.
I got you. Very good.
Yeah.
Would Katsumi be back by then?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. When he comes back, I will recommend that we all return to the village to get the treats and inform them that he's actually taken a horse and maybe placated for the short term with that, and come out. Do we think the evening or the first thing of sunrise would be better to attract him with the treat?
Okay.
Well,
So,
the water child's predatorial, so I would imagine that any time that would favor it catching people or creatures would be the least time we would want to do it. So I wouldn't want to go looking for him in the dusk or the dark, for sure.
yes, you guys are waiting there, kind of discussing your plan, and Kenichi, you ride up to the bridge. You see them sitting in the
Whoa. Oh, it's good to see you, everybody. You are still alive. The water child has not eaten you. That is very good. Obi.
I offered it my horse.
Katsumi, you gave it its horse? That is
Yes,
a terrible trade.
I offered it my horse.
The water child tried to eat my horse too, but I decided to give it melons instead of horse. Very good trade.
So where are the melons?
I have something to tell you. I have found no melons. But I ran into a hut. I saw very strange creatures within. I have seen 6 of them roasting human flesh.
So then the water child's not eating people?
I do not know how they are linked, but I understand that somehow they must be. Because if you have a water child who has not eaten a child for more than a generation, and all of a sudden the water child is here, demanding that we feed it horse and melons and children, there has to be some kind of link between these two events. Yes? Tomo, are you sleeping?
Tamatoyo.
Tomotoyo, what do you think?
This is a wise interpretation. I had not thought of this previously. This leads me even more to think that we must talk with this water child.
It was easy to summon the water child. I just stood by the bridge. I was on my horse, and I said, "Oi, oi! Water child, come out! Come out now!" He starts yelling at the boy.
So you're yelling for the water child, and you hear a splash, and at the side of the bridge, but further down because it's not stupid, it kind of pops up. Okay, it's on the opposite side of the bridge as you are, and about maybe 50 feet away. It pops its head up like before, and it leans on the side, and it says, "Oh, you came back to wrestle."
Well, Kenichi turns over to the other guys and says, "Well, the boy wanted to wrestle me, but seeing that I was alone and he could grow 5 times as much, I decided that my honor lied in keeping my word. So I rode on to get melons. And then turns back to the boy and says, if you want to wrestle now for my horse, I could do so. I will oblige. But before I do so, I must ask you, you have eaten a horse already, yes?
Yes, I have. It was delicious. Thank you.
But you are a very small child. How long does it take for you to eat an entire horse?
Well, some of it is in below for later, of course.
You see, there are 5 of us. There's Tomotozo, sorry, Tomotozo, Obi, Katsumi, and me. Actually, that is only 4 of us. I'm sorry.
And your horse?
And my horse. And there is only one of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I must ask you, why do you keep eating children?
They are delicious.
Is that the only reason? We were told that you haven't eaten a child in a generation.
This is true. But
why now?
I get sick of eating only fish. And there's been nothing else of interest. Well, there was the merchant, but he was fatty.
What happened to his melons?
I love melons.
You ate them all already?
I have no more melons. I would like melons. You promised me melons.
Well, I broke my promise.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, let us settle this by wrestling.
Okay, so he extends his little pinky.
Okay.
Before you wrestle, Water Child, what is your name?
What is my name? My name is Hodge.
Hodge,
What is your name?
It is Obi. Very nice to meet you. And he'll play a quick tune.
Okay.
Do you like music?
Of course.
Do you know why he did not bring back melons?
Because he wanted to wrestle?
He wanted to wrestle, yes, but that was more for fun. The reason he was not able to bring melons is because that the farmer who grew the melons was eaten by some other kind of creature, some kind of land child, I assume, with a horn on their head or a horn on their butt or somewhere. They had horns.
That sounds like Makmono.
You know this Makmono?
Terrible, dirty creatures. Did you kill them?
I did not. There were 5 more of them.
Yes.
It seems like he likes to eat people too.
Yes, they do. Savages.
Would you not say that you are a savage for eating children?
I only eat children when I'm hungry.
Hodge, we don't mean to assume that you're like them at all. We're just trying to negotiate for the town because without their children, they can't grow up to be adults. And if they're not adults, they won't live here. And then there will be nothing else for you to eat but fish. Do you understand?
Well, they could make more. In fact, I know they enjoy making more.
They do. But if you eat their children, they'll be sad and they won't want to make more. They'll want to move away.
That has not been my experience in the 346 years that I've lived here.
Is there something else that has happened recently that makes you want to eat children rather than eat the other things that are available? Have they insulted you in some way?
No, have they? Let's wrestle.
Okay, we will talk later, but first we wrestle.
He wants to wrestle. So he's going to put his pinky up.
Okay. Ryuzaki's gonna hold up his pinky as well.
Okay. So the way this works, he lets pinky wrestle you. He looks at you and he says, "I promise I will not grow any bigger.
So if you win, what happens?
I get to eat your horse.
And if I win, what happens?
Don't get to eat your horse.
No. If I do not wrestle, then you don't get to eat my horse. We have to come up with something better in order to wager.
If you lose, you must promise to never eat children again.
Oh, such a promise is hard to make. How about
100 years.
you?" And he splashes. He goes out into the water. And he's gone for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And he comes back with a small cloth pouch. It's a little silk pouch, which is kind of fucked up because it's been under the water. But he opens it up, and inside there are gems. Yeah, there's they're like a bunch of little gems, but you reckon they're probably worth a decent amount, not a ton of money, but you know. He says, "I have this. I don't like to eat these. Oh, and also," and then he picks up and he pulls out something that clearly came out of the saddlebags of your friend. What did you have in your saddlebags?
Let's see. What did I have specifically in my saddlebags?
Or on your horse, because you probably had most of your stuff on your horse.
True. Let's say prayer beads.
Okay, yeah, he holds up your prayer beads. They're clearly yours, but he says, "And these." He's kind of treading the water, you know.
Very well, water child. For entertaining you with this wrestling match, how about we do this? If you win, then you get to eat my horse. But if you lose, you hand over the jewels. But regardless, whether if you win or lose, we get rid of Bakumono together.
He thinks about it. He says, "So if okay, he'll do it."
From the sound of it, you never liked this Bakumono. And for myself,
I will help you. I will help you kill Bakumono, but I will not eat them. They are disgusting.
Good. All right. So Ryuzaki takes off his shirt and then gets ready for a wrestling match.
Okay. So the way this works is you need to use your bend bars.
Bend bars?
Okay. That should be on your strength.
Okay.
So you want to roll under that, and if you succeed, then that's good. I mean, he's also going to roll against his. And if you succeed and he doesn't.
As they're positioning themselves to do this, I'm assuming that the water child's in the water.
Yep.
And that Kenshi is on the bridge.
That's correct. He's got his hand stuck up out of the water.
So he's leaning down, maybe like on his stomach, laying flat.
Oh, Kenji?
Yes.
Well, I think he could probably just squat
so that they can reach each other.
Yeah, or squatted down, whatever's the most stable place for you to be.
I'm thinking that laying down on your stomach would be the most stable.
Okay.
Wink, wink.
He turns off. He turns back and says, "No, by honor, I will wrestle this creature without any magical aid or any other aid." And this time he's gonna actually wrestle the creature.
Okay, so you got your percentage, so try to roll under it.
Okay, so he's gonna try to increase his chances by using ki.
Ah, nice.
So Ryuzaki stomps on both feet and says "Chia!" and rolls 29.
Nice success. Okay, let's see. Wow. Okay, you actually beat him. You pull him up out of the water, and he's standing on the thing, and he says, and he bows, though being sure not to tip the water out of his head because he has water on top of his head, and he says, "Well done," and he presents you with the gems.
And he turns over to the other guys and says, hands it over to Tomotozo and says, "Tomotozo, I trust you because you're a priest." Over the
You mind if
gems
I
and it
get
says,
those beads back? I didn't know that was part of the deal earlier.
"Yeah."
They will be secure until we sit down for a meal to divide the wealth.
Yeah, but can I just get my prayer beads back?
Yeah, I mean, everything that was in your saddlebag should go over to you. So Yuzaki hands over anything from Katsumi's saddlebag over to Katsumi.
Yeah, it was the perfect, basically. The gems that he had himself. All right, so just remind me that you have the gems. So that's some treasure you have, and you get 1 point of honor. So your honor goes up by 1. Battle. Wow, that was a good use of the yeah, probably wouldn't have worked otherwise. So yeah, so he's the water boy tells you his name is Hodge.
Hodge.
Hodge. He says he says, show me Bakemon, and we shall defeat them together. Bakemono.
So the Bakemono that I ran into, it was about half an hour ride from here.
Mm-hmm.
In the direction that I was riding to find melons. And he points along down the road and looks over to his companions and says, "Katsumi, Obi, should we all go together?"
Yes.
This is a path I have not walked. Indeed, I shall support you in this endeavor.
Okay, so he says, "Okay, hold on," and he jumps into the water again. He just like leaps off and comes back up a minute later, and he has a like a jug. He puts it under his arm. He says, "Okay, secret weapon. Lead the way."
Okay, we're on our way then.
Okay, yeah, he'll walk with you. So it's you're walking, so it's maybe a little bit longer to get there, but sure enough, after a couple miles, you start to enter into this other this other type of soil, this other type of land where the melons and various fruits and stuff can grow, and yeah, you like before, from about half a mile away or so, you see this house. Although now, let me just check. Yeah, now there's actually a couple of these things are outside. There are 4 of them outside, and they're just like doing random crap around the place, like basically causing destruction because it's like a little house. They're out there like smashing things and just making a mess of themselves. They don't really see you from this distance. But let's take a 5-minute break now before you enter into the realm of the Bakmono, and so we'll come back in 5 minutes. That seems reasonable. Or break and use the bathroom or get a drink or whatever.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Sounds good. See you in a couple of minutes.
See you soon, guys.
I'm back.
I'm here as well.
As am I.
Cool. Are you back, Young? Okay.
The only one I haven't heard chime in is Kenichi.
Yeah, he's not back yet, I don't think. So I will roll hit points for my monsters while we're waiting. So I'm assuming you're going to engage them in combat.
Kenichi is probably wrangling his handful of children in real life.
From the distance we're at, I want to call the group to a stop and ask if we could take 5 minutes to observe them here, and I will go and try and observe from closer, and you guys can engage without me, and I will be where I'm needed.
Obi's going to ask Hoj. Hoj, do these creatures speak a different language? Do you speak a language that they speak?
That is a good question. They speak. Yeah, he says that they normally speak the language of humans. I mean, they do have their own language, but they normally speak the language of humans.
Have you dealt with these creatures before in your long life?
Yes, they are disgusting. Eat people and drink.
Is there anything that we could use to in our favor? Like, do they favor like rolling dice, or do they favor songs or peanuts or anything in particular? Say again?
Strong sake and eating men.
Sake.
Mm-hmm.
I do not favor letting them eat me. It does not seem to be a favorable trade.
Indeed.
Well, Hoj, do you have any advice before we go encounter these creatures? Or should we just meet them head on? What is your thoughts?
I think they are disgusting. We should kill them. For that is the bet that I made with the samurai.
That is a good choice. Good thought process. So we will do that.
Will you guys be willing to let me have 5 minutes before we engage?
Of course.
Sure, what are you doing in 5 minutes?
Give me a second. I'm sending you a message on
Okay.
Facebook.
Gotcha. Sorry, I don't have it open. That's why I'm asking.
I closed mine just to save bandwidth here. I was starting to blink a little, so I got to reopen.
I was making notes earlier because, of course, they. That's right. 3 feet. Cool. Let's see. I'll open back up my Facebook.
I have to share my potato chips with one of my cats. Loves potato chips.
Well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I had one that would steal Twinkies.
Oh.
Every time you open a packet of Twinkies, you run up and take it and run away with it. that same cat we rescued at a place, an apartment complex that had caught on fire, and we were there helping the people, food and water and all that. And we were giving out little cheeseburgers from McDonald's, and I had just opened a little 99-cent cheeseburger, and this kitten comes running up and jumped into my lap and ate the cheeseburger and tried to run away with it. So we kept it, and ended up being the Twinkie cat.
Is that the name?
No, that one was Reebok, because he had a swoop that looked like the Reebok emblem.
Cool.
But those are the pets that you really love to remember, right?
Yeah, I have a bunch of rescue animals here, so we have the full gambit of personalities.
Oh yeah.
We're allowed to have 6 animals in the city limits, so I'm going to say I have 6.
Nice.
I like to look at it as more of a negotiation. So I'm thinking if they ask me if I have 6 animals, I'll say yes. I'll just exclude the part of the statement that it's 6 per room. So. But I got a big house and all my kids are gone, so it's no big deal.
Nice.
Does
What
that
city are you
include
in?
scales and feathers too?
No, just cats and dogs.
Just cats and dogs. Okay.
Three
What city are
dogs.
you in?
Corpus Christi. I was in Rockport, but I'm in Corpus Christi right now.
Texas?
Yes.
So you're a crazy cat man instead of a crazy cat lady?
I have always had a lot of cats. At one point, I had a farm, a strawberry farm, 5 acres of strawberries, and I inherited close to 20 cats when we bought the farm, and they would run up and down the lanes, killing the mice. But I had like 36 of them at one point on the farm. But I have 13 right now. But they're all fixed and they're all indoor cats.
Okay. So I'm actually doing like a chat thing with because he's doing something secret. That's what. So I'm not ignoring you guys. You're watching the bad guys.
So Daniel, did I lose everything earlier?
I mean, what would you have taken things with you? I mean, whatever's realistic that you feel like you would have had on your body, you can have. That's up to you. I mean, if you want to say you took all your backpack or whatever on before you walked across the bridge, then that's fine.
I mean, I kind of feel like I would have kept that stuff closest to me because that's where my most valuable things are.
Okay,
Anything that Hoge took with the horse, I would assume he'd give back because he doesn't want it. He doesn't eat it, so maybe you can negotiate.
Oh, we'll see.
Wait, didn't we get that back already?
Just the prayer beads.
Okay.
He's held up the prayer beads, which is something that she recognized coming from her saddlebags, but he didn't offer everything, just the prayer beads.
Well, we can trade back the jewels for the belongings that you lost.
After all, it was so generous of you to offer your horse.
Yeah. The stuff I lost was just like chopsticks, a bowl, some cord, some incense, some rope. I mean, it's stuff that could be useful, but I can buy it again. But
sounds like first world problem.
Yeah, there were some other items though that I wanted to make sure that he wouldn't have gotten, but I would have carried those with me because I was planning something, but then things didn't work out the way I thought they would.
Yeah, whatever you feel like you would have had on you. Yeah. We didn't discuss it, so. Okay, so right now, Tamatoto is scouting, so we're just having a little. Okay, all right, that's cool. All right, so you're going to do that, and then you're just going to come back.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tamatoto goes off into the side and creeps around, and then comes back. But what you saw, or assuming you're going to tell them, I'm just going to. Instead of
basically was report my scouting and
you can see that there's 4 of them. They do have they're kind of like wrestling and messing around and stuff. It looks to you like they are like kind of they're not super well armed, but they have spears, like kind of either in their hands or near them, and they're just kind of like in the yard. It looks like at first they were fighting over some kind of meat, which could have been a person. It was hard to say from the distance. And then they're just kind of pushing each other around, and then eventually they start to collect some firewood off the pile that's there, and they start to move into the house. So yeah, I mean they don't see you, and they're not like watching you. They're not paying attention at all. Like they're not at all guarded against you from any direction. But you can either go straight to the front, which there is a big door where Kenichi knows because she went through it, or you could go around the back where there is also a door. So both of them are just standard wooden doors.
We weren't there the first time, but the details of the building, did you say it was a stone building or it just had a stone chimney?
No, the building is stone. And if Kenichi had described it from what he saw, I mean, you were literally in there for like a second, so I just gave you like a brief. It's one large room with a hearth, like a cooking fire in the center, and then there's like there were some silk curtains to like separate out what you would imagine would be like the sleeping areas and stuff. There weren't like separate rooms, but they put curtains just for privacy. So there was three distinct areas that were curtained off that you didn't see because you were only in there for a second, and in the center there was mostly just some low furniture and the cooking area. And you still do see the smoke coming out of the chimney.
How high up would you say the top of the chimney is?
The house is probably it's not really a true chimney; it's more like a hole in the roof. The overall house is maybe like 12 feet tall. It's not tremendous.
Is there water nearby?
There's a well. It's in the front. You passed it. There's not like a lake or anything. Well, not that you saw. If you go past the house, although you wander around the back, I guess, and during your scouting, so there is a river that goes by.
Okay.
Like a small, like streamy kind of river, but he does actually have a well as well.
Yeah, Kenichi relays all the information that he has regarding the earlier encounter with the rest of the group, and points out that there's a well to the Kappa, to Hoji.
Thank you. I'm not thirsty though.
So what should we do? I have a bow, and I can try to pick them off from afar. What do you suggest?
We have two options in my observation. We can either engage them inside the building, or we can draw them out into the yard. I take it you would prefer the yard to attract their attention?
What if there was a fire inside the house, and as they came running out, they tripped over a bunch of stuff that was laid in front of them, like bamboos, skewers, or sticks and so forth, and then you could shoot them with your bow?
That is a very good idea. But we have to take care of the ones that are outside first, without drawing much attention to what's happening.
Yeah, there's 4 of them, and they're like collecting wood. You can see that they're probably going to head in soon, as they're starting to get wood off the pile. I will point out that burning down somebody's house is probably...
We could use some magic.
Burning down the house is probably what?
Probably not the most honorable thing to do.
Well, these are human-eating monsters, so...
But the house may not be theirs.
This is the melon farmer's house.
I suspect the melon farmer is in their belly, so I don't think he's going to care.
I put it out there. I'm not going to debate it. I'm just putting it out there. So there you go. So yeah, do what you want.
All right.
So Katsumi, do you have any suggestion?
I have a few spells at my disposal, but nothing that would be able to take anything out without alerting the others.
These creatures know that I saw them before, so they would recognize me if I were to be seen. You could hide, and we could lay an ambush. I could shoot an arrow. They could see me on the horseback and try to give me chase.
Yes.
What do you say?
Yes. Sounds like a great idea.
And
They
Obi.
did not chase you last time, though, did they?
No, they did not. But if I linger a little longer, maybe they would. Maybe this time I could walk toward the place instead of riding off on my horse.
Why don't you leave your bow and your arrows near a bush close to where you're walking so they don't see the bow and arrow? And that way, when you run away and you pass the bush, your bow and arrow will be right there and you could surprise them and turn around and shoot them with the bow.
Well, they could give chase and you could chop them down as they pass you.
That also would be part of the plan.
Very well. Then I will leave my bow near where Tomotozo is standing. And halfway between us and the house, Obi could hide yourself. And I will approach near that point and yell out my battle cry for my house. And they could give chase.
Or I could play a song. Maybe the music would attract them.
One of them goes in.
We only have 3 to work with now.
I recommend we set this plan in
Do this
motion.
quickly. Come on,
quickly.
we've already got the plan. Go up, just shoot an arrow at them, get them to come out. I'll shoot them with magic missiles.
Very well.
Okay, so you're putting yourselves halfway. The let me just make sure we have everything straight. So Kensei is going to be no, Kensei, not Kensei.
Kenichi?
Kenshi is going to be at bow range, right? Like medium range, or do you want to be at short range?
I want to be in a bow range.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever range we can have decent cover behind some shrubbery.
Okay, you get pretty close. So short range is 70 yards, so you could be 70 yards away and still be short range. Is everybody else going to be between Kenichi and the house, or are they going to be on the other side? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The well was before we got there, right? So the well's behind us at this point?
Yeah, you haven't got to the well yet, but it is before. You can stop at the well. The well's probably like 10 yards from the house. But if you get all the way to the well, you'll be walking through an open area. If you want to stay under cover, you could get like 30 yards away and still be like in a bush.
All right, so we'll get as close. I will get as close as I can, but still maintaining some cover.
Okay.
Okay. At this point, Kenichi, grabs his sword, lays down his bow a little further away because he's gonna come back running and pick it up and start shooting. Okay. But he just holds onto his sword and starts walking toward the house to be seen.
Okay, so you want to be seen.
Yeah, so as the picture, my picture over there shows, he's just walking.
Yeah, okay. So you got your sword out and you're walking towards the house, and they're kind of like, these things are definitely. By the way, the Hoj is following you, unless you tell him not to. He's just walking next to you. The 3 of them are there. One picks up some wood and turns to go into the house, and he sees you. Maybe they're like 10 yards away or so. So he's not surprised. He can show that. So that's cool. So for this, just roll a d6. You can just.
I got 2.
Okay, they got a 5. So they're going to go first. So they're actually going to charge you instead of spears. So one's carrying wood, so he drops it. That's all he's going to do this round. The other 2 are going to charge at you. So they're going to move up and try to strike you with their spears. Which I think one of them does. Because you only have a sword, so you can't. And against that, spear. Okay, 0. So the spear doesn't do. Yeah, you're going to get stabbed once with a spear. For 3 points of damage. One of them catches you with the spear. But they're up on you now, and you could definitely attack if you want. Or run, or whatever you want to do. So I'll let you go first, Kenichi, since you're
attack?
Yeah. If you want to react, Kenichi.
Let me just pull out my HP.
Oh, you know There's a chance they might have tried to stab the Kappa. I just realized that. So let me just roll. First one. Okay. Oh no, so that's exactly what happened. But you can go ahead and go first, or go ahead and make an attack if you'd like, or run, or tell me what you want to do.
Okay. Well, because he's already engaged. I mean, he doesn't want to retreat at this point. So he says, "For house korematsu." He draws his katana and then slashes sideways, and he rolls 13 against the nearest one.
Cool. So they are, in fact, AC 6. You rolled a 13. You're a what level are you? I can't. 4, right?
Third level samurai.
Yeah, so you only need a 12. Yeah, so you got him.
Now,
Okay.
was that your modified roll or just the base roll plus your strength?
That was a straight roll. So
Yes,
on top of that, yeah, I mean, with my katana, I got +3. So what was it? Did I roll? I should have rolled 16.
Nice. That definitely hits.
Yeah, modified 16. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, it's 1d10, correct?
Yeah, because they're small. Plus you do
10. I roll 7.
Nice.
7 plus 2 for damage. So
Fantastic.
9 points of damage.
Wow. Okay. You slice this thing in half, and it drops to the ground dead.
And as he does so, he says, "He sucks though. Moon slash," and he chops him down.
Also standing there, since they're engaged, he'll also be able to go to is the Kappa's going to go. So he's going to actually make a strike at the one that's still standing, which hits. And kills. Nice. I'm going to say the third one fucking runs. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I was heading off in the distance, so what the plan was when they rushed towards us, I was going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
So am I close enough that I can do that now?
Yeah, you definitely can cast it. There's one towards the house.
Huh?
There's one more left running back towards the house. He's gonna.
So could I cast Magic Missile at him before he can get back to the house?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and they do 2 to 5 damage each, so 1d4 plus 1. He takes 8 damage total.
Wow. Okay. Your magical attack blasts him into the back, and he falls flat on the ground. The wood flying everywhere.
Nice.
Was that the guy with the wings? He never got to fly.
Yeah, he did have wings, actually. He's flying flat on the ground now. They did kind of scream. They heard the samurai shout, and they kind of screamed a little bit as this happened. So you definitely hear scurrying going on inside the house. So what do you guys want to do? Nobody's come out yet.
I think the plan's aborted. I think we need to rush up and engage now.
Okay, so you got to run towards the house?
I'm going to run towards the house with the intent to put the well between him and the house. That if he had to, he could get behind the well if he needed to.
Okay, yeah, you could run to the well or past it. Like you
Sounds like a good plan. I'll follow him, using both him and the well for cover.
All right, so you guys run and get behind the well. Okay, so you're about 10 yards away from the house then. How about the other two? What are you guys doing?
As a priest, I'm not supposed to do any harm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Killing monsters doesn't count.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does actually.
100%.
I actually take penalties for killing things.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can the Kappa use a blade? I'll actually ask the Hoji. Can you wield a blade efficiently?
You're going to walk up and talk to him? He says, I am the master of martial arts. And he starts actually showing off a little bit and doing some, moves. He, goes on in one hand. He does some stuff and he swings around. And
I'm going to cast Enchanted Blade on him.
Does he have an enchanted blade?
It says that when cast, the spell causes a blade of crackling energy to appear in the recipient's hand. It is the size of a normal longsword, but is virtually weightless. Electrical sparks flash up and down the length of the glowing blade. The enchanted blade can be used 2 ways: in normal melee combat, or to fire a bolt of crackling energy from the tip of its range up to 3 feet.
Oh wow!
I guess that's feet.
Yeah, I mean, cast it on him, he'll use it for sure.
Yeah.
Looks a little freaked out. He's like, whoa, cool. And then he stopped doing that.
Yeah, it's on page 78 if you want to read on it.
Okay, yeah, just so I can see how to use it because he's got it.
It's pretty long. It's a pretty long
He's got the
description.
enchanted blade, and he stands there swinging around a little bit and acting a fool. Okay, so yeah, you guys are. What about? So you stood where you were when you did that, right? No, you must have ran up to him if you talked to him. So you're now 35 yards away next to Kenichi and the Kappa. What does Kenichi want to do?
Kenichi wants to hightail and grab his bow this time.
Okay.
So he's gonna run back to he's gonna disengage. If there are any other monsters that are attacking him, and run back to the monk or the priest and grab his.
Ran forward.
Grab his.
You're gonna run back to where your bow was.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Yes, you can do that. You can easily do that. So you run back and get your bow, and you definitely, like I said, you do hear shuffling going on in the house. Let's see what they're gonna do. So 2 people are hiding behind the well, or where are you currently? Did you also duck behind the well, Kasumi, or are you just standing next to the Kappa?
Sure, I'll duck behind the well.
All right. He's just standing.
After I give the creature my enchanted blade.
Okay. Yeah, so you run up to him, give him an enchanted blade, then run behind the well with the rest of them. He's standing there about 35 yards from the house. He's spinning it around. It's the size of a longsword, so it's bigger than he is. He does some splits. He does moonwalks. He basically doing like a big show of it. Kichi runs back and gets the bow. So there's like silence for a few seconds, and then the door busts open and outrun 6 of these guys. 4 of which have actually somebody roll initiative. I guess we'll just have Young just do it for the group for this combat. I think it was the same 4. So go ahead and roll a d6.
My AC?
No, roll a d6 for initiative for the group.
Okay. Yeah. 6.
All right, so you guys are going to go first. So they bust out of the door. Is there 6 of them? 6 of them bust out of the door. But you guys actually technically have to go first. So they're about 35 yards away. And there are 6 of them. 2 of which have naginata, so like little short ones. And 4 of which are holding in their hand jerkins.
I'm gonna cast magic missile on 2 of those that are holding shurikens.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you can still do that first.
Okay, so one of them takes 5 damage and the other takes 4 damage.
Nice. Okay, first one gets it in his chest, but he's still standing. And the second one goes down dead.
I'm gonna like duck back behind the well with like my smoking hand. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm spent.
Yeah, I mean the well's not huge because you're all kind of clutched behind it, but yeah, you're all back there. So what about we'll just handle all the missile stuff first. Is Kenichi, you're gonna use your bow? Is the plan?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use my bow.
Okay, so you go ahead and shoot your bow.
He rolls 8.
An 8? You need a 12 to hit them, so.
So hold on a second. 8 plus 1.
Dexterity modifier to hit.
Actually, that's -1. Yeah.
Well, you have no. That's only for your armor class. You don't have a -1 there.
Actually, he's specialized in Daikyu, so that's
it should be right next to the on the line with the weapon. It should give you your 2-hit bonus and then slash your damage bonus.
Okay.
Yeah,
so 2 plus 1, 2 plus 3. That's 11. 11 according to the sheet.
11, so just misses. Okay. You get 2 shots though. So you can shoot
another one aimed at the same guy. This time he totally misses. He rolls 2.
Nice. So I imagine you just ran back to get the bow. You're clumsily and with only one eye Not
He
able
says,
to.
He just shoots in a random direction.
and as he lets his arrows fly, he spouts a little haiku. He says, "My arrow is best, only if it shoots target. I miss shot often."
Nice. Okay. So, nice. The extra little haiku is good. That's always a good bonus. So, what about Obi and Tamatoto?
Does it look like is 35 a reasonable distance to run for a single movement, or
You can move that far. You can actually move. None of you guys are wearing armor or anything. You can move something like 100 yards and
so will we be able to close that distance and attack, or no?
yeah, you'll be able to. Yeah. Because you can move. Yeah, you'll be charging. So, I mean, you would know this. So you're better off going after the guys with the shurikens, because if you charge against the guys with the naginatas, they'll actually be able to attack you first because they have spears, basically.
Right.
So, but if you charge against the guys with the shurikens, you can do that. And you'll get a +2 to your actually.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start rushing in and then go for the shuriken ones and try to stack them so that if they're lined up like this, they'll go on the other side so that they'd have to shoot through themselves to get to them. That way, maybe could cleave through a couple of them.
Okay.
Gonna break out the big Heaven's Cleaver and go for it.
Nice.
So make an attack roll.
Stand by. I'm using an online roller and rolling. I have a 15 plus my 1. I got a 16.
All right, so that definitely hits.
Oh, what you said there was +2, so 18.
Okay, that still definitely hits. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
I'm rolling the damage now, and it is 7 plus 1. So, do you add does the charge add damage to it also, or just to hit?
Nope, just a hit.
Okay.
8 points.
Total of 8.
All right, yeah. You slice him right in half, and he falls to the ground dead.
Sweet.
Nice. And finally, Tamatoto. What do you do?
Tamatoyo is going to attempt to launch a sling stone at them off the end of his staff.
Okay.
One of the ones with the shuriken.
Okay.
Let me see, what are we looking at here? Yeah, okay. Oh, I didn't get that put in there. Okay. Let's see what we roll here. Not so great. I rolled a 7.
Okay.
No, that's not even going to be remotely close.
Okay. Yeah, it goes flying and smashes into the wall.
I might have hit the house with a 7.
Yeah, probably. You definitely hit the house. It went you overcompensated, and it went at all right, so it's 3 of them right there. So actually, the only person close enough for them to attack with melee is, in fact, our Sensei. So all 3 of them are going to attack you. The guy with the shurikens can't throw them at you, so he will actually try to throw them at. Let's see, I'll roll randomly because the 2 of you behind the well. He can't throw them all the way to where the bowman is. So, okay, so at the Ujen, you're going to get some shuriken attacks, but I'll do that after. So first 2 guys with Nagatas go after the Kensei, who you're not wearing any armor, so they don't have any. I'm just doing the armor versus weapon versus armor modification, and it's a 0 for that. So okay, so
armor's for the weak.
Exactly. Most of you guys aren't wearing them. Ooh, a 20 and a 15, which I think is.
Obi has a special ability so that criticals do not hit.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
he has it in his head to make
that's why I made the characters.
Yeah.
So I know that doesn't exist. All right, so they need, let's see, you with armor class 7.
Yes.
Class 7, they need 11. All right, so they both have 2 spears, which do a d6 each. Oof. A total of 10 points of damage.
Already?
Actually, not spears. They're naginatas, which actually do a D8. But I roll a D6, so it's fine. So you get stabbed through twice. And the guy with the shurikens now is going to hurl them. They are shuriken star large, so they get 3 attacks. However, you have cover, so it's going to be -4. So your armor class is actually. Do you have any dex bonus, Crystal?
Let's see, my taekwondo.
No, you're not using martial arts because you cast a spell.
Okay. No, I guess not.
Okay, so then your armor class 10. Okay, so 19 definitely hits you. Let me just check if the 11 hits you.
I don't know. You have a 7 here, but I'm not sure how I got a 7.
Well, you have 2 different martial arts.
Okay.
It each depends on which ones you're using. And all, yeah, that's really cool. Chart. So because you are not, that's the only issue. The martial arts are awesome, but the problem is that when you're not using them, your armor class is nothing. So actually, they hit you twice, and they do 2 different damage each.
Oh, great.
So you take 4 + 2 is 6 points of damage from 2 shurikens sticking in you. Even from behind the cover, it just barely hit you. One of them. So one of them makes a nice solid hit, and the other one just barely kind of skirts past you.
Okay.
And that is the end of that round. Right? Everybody had a chance to go. So now we're going into initiative again. So if you just want to keep rolling, they got a 4 this round.
2 this time.
Okay, so they're going to go first. Okay, so 2 more guys with naginatas and a guy with a spear burst out the door. So I'm just going to say they're just running. They couldn't see you because there's only the door and not a window, so they couldn't really charge properly, so they're not going to actually attack via charge, luckily for our Kensei. But the 2 that are still standing next to you are, in fact, going to attack you again. And they hit you once. And they have naginatas. Let me roll the proper for 2 points of damage to Obi. So I will get everybody's name right.
All right.
Okay, so you're getting stabbed through because you're standing up there. Brave Kensei standing up there. The one with the shurikens is going to throw once again at hold on, at the people at the well. This time actually at Tomoyo. Let's see. 3 shurikens. Ooh, doesn't hit you at all. That is the blessing of being a Shushenka, I guess. So yeah, nothing. And the other people will not act this round. They're just running up. They're all kind of facing you. Okay, so it's on you. So anybody doing any spells? We'll just do that first.
I would like to scoot up behind the Kensei and cast a heal spell on him.
Hey, did the Kappa go with the enchanted blade?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. He did not.
Yes. What about that?
Okay, yeah, so he runs forward and tries to attack with the sword. It's kind of interesting. It's new for him, so he's going to give it a shot. And he misses. That was last round, but he'll go again this round. He might try to throw a bolt of energy. Interesting. Oh, I see. It does the caster's level in 6 side dice before disappearing. That's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, he tries to swing the sword ineffectively. Okay, so go ahead and cast your heal spell.
7 points.
Okay, nice. You get
Doing it up before you got the Kappa done there.
4 points back.
7.
7.
I rolled. That uses one of my spells.
Thank you.
comes back to you. Are you going to use your bow again this time?
Kenichi.
Kenichi, sorry.
Yeah. Are they within 30 feet this time, or am I out of that range?
Yeah, you're within short range. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, 30 feet. I get He's Daikyu specialist, so point blank range, 5 to 30 feet.
Move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So he distances himself within 30 feet, and he sees the one that's nearby his companions. Is there one that's already injured?
Yes, there is. There's only one that's been injured. Everybody else has gone down as soon as they get hit. Now, I'll also point out that you get not only do you get that point blank, but you also get a +2 because of their armor.
Okay.
So you get additional +2. You would have missed before anyway, so it wouldn't. I didn't realize that. Sorry.
I gotcha. So I attack.
So you get +4 total.
So with the rolls, I get 13.
That hits.
And it's a double weapon damage. What's the
Nice.
damage for the bow?
Okay. So an arrow's a D6, I think. You just have regular arrows. No, D8.
Was it D8 or D6?
Yeah, it's D8. Yep.
D8. Okay. That's 6.
I think it depends which type of arrow you're shooting.
Yeah, he has leaf head arrows.
Okay. Yeah, it's I roll 6, so
nice.
12 points of damage on that guy.
Okay, yeah, that arrow goes through him completely and sticks into the wall behind him.
And then he yells out his move. He says, "Sho Ryuzaki, Daikyu-ten," nice. And then he lets it go.
Do you want to shoot the second arrow or no?
Oh yeah, I shoot the second arrow on the other guy that's just coming out, and he rolls 12.
12 hits. Yeah. 12 total?
Yeah, 12 total.
Yeah,
so 3. He damages for 6 points of damage.
Nice. Let me see which one you hit. Okay, you hit the guy with the throwing shurikens, and again the arrow goes into him and he drops dead.
Nice.
Yeah, you only have 1 arrow left. I only give you 5 arrows.
Yep.
Because I'm like that. Okay, so all right, so that's missile fire. Anybody doing dispels and missile have gone? What are you doing, Crystal? Are you doing a spell as well or no?
No, I don't have any spells left.
Okay. Okay, so what are you doing?
Let's see. What's in front of us? Like, are there any of those?
Is
there anyone?
You're approximately 10 yards away from any of the opponents. You're behind a wall. Your 2 allies have run forward, one to fight and the other one to heal, and they are in the midst of 5 of these creatures.
Okay. Are there any of the shuriken guys close enough that I could grab some and attempt to use some shurikens?
Well, there's 2 that hit you, so they're probably laying on the ground next to you or stuck into you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Could I grab one of those out of me and attempt to throw it at one of the targets?
Yeah, that would be kind of epic. So yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna say one stuck in my shoulder. I'm gonna pull it out and oh, nice. Let's see. I rolled a 16.
That definitely hits.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything minus on it for it to. Yeah, it's -1 going into the armor, but that's still fine. Still 15. Okay. So go ahead and roll damage. It does 2 to 5, so 1d4 plus 1.
2 damage.
Nice. Let's see. Number 5. 4, 5. Okay, that sticks into the guy. It does not kill him. It's the spear. One of the guys with the spear.
It says with these things in the book, the attack is 4 per round. So
Indeed.
if there's a second, a second one in me, can I take that one out and throw it?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. And this time I rolled a 12, so I probably didn't hit him.
Well, are you proficient in these? Are large? Because if you're not, then you're also having negative. You would hit anyways on the last one, though. Just so. These are large stars, not small ones.
Okay.
I don't know if you are or not.
Let me see.
Okay. We'll just roll, and if it's like borderline, we'll look it up.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I rolled a 12, so I don't know if I hit that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have hit even with the 12. No. Okay.
I'm gonna send you a message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those do not. That one does not hit. So you pick up the circle and you throw it. With the 16, you would have hit even not being proficient, so it's fine. And finally, our melee combatant, our Kensei, Obi. You are standing amidst.
He's going. He's just going to slice it. Whatever one's closest to him, he's going to go. Does the first edition allow for multiple targets? With disadvantage. For a full big swing or anything like that.
Nope. No, not until you reach a different level where you get whirlwind as an attack.
Whirlwind would be wonderful.
Yep.
I don't suppose I suddenly advanced in rank or anything. I just.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, he's just going to swing at whatever one is closest to him, and he'll deal out his blade damage, as it were. And rolling to hit. There's no charging, so he just has the +1.
Okay.
So I am rolling, and we have a 16 +1 is 17.
That definitely hits. Give me some
Okay. Damage is 2d4 and rolling. I got a 6 +1 is 7.
Nice. So one of these guys has been poking at you with the naginata. You slice down and he drops to the ground. Coming up next to you is Oj with his electric sword, which he misses with again.
Is it a fabulous sun sword?
It's kind of, yeah.
Because he could go, "Aye, Lords of Light."
Good, but unfortunately he doesn't know. Yeah, he's trying to first time ever using this thing, so he's a little bit pull off his game right now, but he's trying. And that's the end of that round. Okay, so third or fourth round of melee. Let's roll initiative. They got a 6 this time.
2.
Okay, they're gonna go first. So this round, charging out of the door is another one of these guys. He's slightly bigger, and he has actually some armor on, and he's wielding a katana. He charges forward and attacks. There's 2 of you up there. Oh, he's going to have the Kensei. Boy, you're getting targeted by these guys. Yep, he charges at you with his katana, and he doesn't yell any kind of cool thing. Ooh, and he rolls an 18. So he charges at you, and whoosh, you don't have a spear. You're just using a sword, right? So you can't. Let me just check something quickly, because he has a katana and you have a broadsword. So if your weapon is longer, you actually get to hit him first. Let me just see. I don't think it is, though. Broadsword is 3.5. Katana is 3. Actually, your sword is longer. So while he will, in fact, hit you, unless you kill him, you actually get 1 chance to kill him before. So go ahead, Obi, and make a strike at this guy if that's what you want to do. He's got slightly better armor. He's armor class 4, so you're going to need a 14. Obi?
Sorry?
Are you going to attack him before he attacks you or no? Because your weapon.
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
You have a longer weapon, so you automatically get.
My hearing is crap from the military. Sometimes I miss stuff.
Okay, yeah, he came charging out, but even because he's charging and because your weapon is longer, you actually get to attack him first.
You get one reaction. I got you. Okay, I'm sorry. Rolling is a 13 +1 if he still gets his +1, so 14.
14, I think is what I said you needed. Let me just pick that. Yep,
he's level 3.
Some damage.
All right, 2d4 rolls. 4 +1 is 5.
Okay, 5. It's not enough to kill him, unfortunately. So he's still going to get that attack against you, which did hit with the katana.
Okay.
Oh, 10 points of damage, maximum damage from the katana.
All right.
Okay, so he slices into you after you hit him.
Minusing the 10. Got it.
So he hit you. Now the rest of them are going to go. So there's 2 of you standing up there. There's 4 other people. I'm just going to put 2 on each of you just to make life easier. So 2 are going to poke at. I will pronounce your name properly before the end of this. I swear to God. Tomatodo. Still not right, I can tell. And both miss, and 2 are going to attack at Obi, and both miss. Okay, so these guys actually do a good job of pin cushioning you. And let's just roll back. There's a who's doing. Anybody? Are you shooting with your bow with your last arrow, or can you shoot?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the guy with my last arrow.
Okay.
There we go. And I miss. I roll 3.
Okay. Yeah. So your last arrow is.
Well, you are blind and ugly, so we forgive you.
Does he get a chance to like charge in and join?
Yeah, you can drop your bow and draw your sword.
And
yeah, you're into the fray this round. Yep.
Yeah. He although he doesn't have any attack, he rushes over to Obi and stands right next to him with his sword drawn.
Okay, and then so everybody else. So missile, right? Are you going to use any more missile weapons?
I wanted to cast another heal spell on the Kensei.
Okay, right. Okay, more magic. Sure, go ahead.
Yep. He took another good hit there, so I think he's in need of another saving. This one's only 3 points. Better than
Yay. Indeed, thank you.
Do you have any more missile weapons? Kasumi?
I'm going to say Kasumi has been on the ground and, searching around for any more shurikens. If she could find 4 of them, that would be great.
Yeah, they had thrown a bunch at you earlier, so you can definitely pick up some shurikens.
Okay.
There was a couple on my side of the well that
Yeah.
didn't hit me, but they were there.
Yeah. I'm sure there should be enough over here that because they can throw like 4 at a time, so there should be a few dozen over here somewhere. So
actually, if they're the large ones, there are only 2 unless they're specialized with them.
Nah, they're large actually.
Yeah, the large ones have a lower fire rate than the regulars.
okay.
All right, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combatants. One of which is kind of with the katana is kind of engaged, so he might be harder to hit. I'm going to give him a little bit of cover if you aim at him, or you can just go random.
Let's see. Okay, so let's see. As far who else is left other than the katana guy?
There's one with a spear and 2 and 3 with naginatas. They're kind of on the sides poking, but the katana guy's kind of in the front. So he's now. Everybody else is being normal.
Dude.
Okay, so from what I can tell, like from where my team and stuff is, what seems to be like the biggest threat, like the naginatas, or with the ones with the naginatas, or okay, I'm just gonna start chunk them at the naginatas.
Okay.
So these are bigger shurikens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna get some kind of disadvantage because I'm not proficient with those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You need a 13, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I missed with that one. And the second one, I missed.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you throw them. They go flying past. And once again, our Kensei. What do you got going on in the front here? You're facing a guy with a katana. There's 4 other guys poking at you with spears.
There's no way to apply any sort of logical tactics in this system, right? You can't put yourself between people for cover.
I mean, not from where you're standing.
Okay. Well, he's just going to attack. He's going to continue attacking the person at hand. That's all you can really do.
Yeah, I mean, you could retreat or whatever, but right at this exact moment, there's a guy facing you. There's 2 guys on either side of you, and your friend's behind you. So I don't know where you would go to get cover.
He's not going to go for cover. He's going to go straight through. He's going to go right through him, and hopefully, if he gets to the other side, that the warrior behind me can take over as well.
Could I cover his retreat? I mean, I could step up and.
Of course. You can move in half your movement without taking any kind of a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, if Obi wants to take a few steps back, to disengage, I could step up and, prevent any attack of opportunity.
If he wanted to step back, I definitely healed him next round.
I'm gonna say that this is what he was made for. And if you step back, they have Naganatas, so they have range on you. So he's just gonna step forward. And he's gonna take the first one out. He's gonna go to the katana guy.
Okay.
Close range Naganatas suck. So logically, I mean that's not how the game's gonna play. But I'll keep to my logic. He's gonna go through. That's what he came for.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Rolling. We have a 13 is a 14 with the +1.
That definitely hits.
And rolling 2d8 or 2d4. 3 and a 4, 7, 8. 8 points of damage.
Wow, nice. Okay. Yeah, you cut down this guy with the katana. And he drops.
Nice.
Has Kappa been going?
He's about to go. He has been going, but he hasn't yet.
He hasn't done a whole lot.
He's fairly impressed by that, and he swings at one of the guys with the he misses again. And at that point, he just like throws the little blade down on the ground because it doesn't seem to be doing him any good. So he kind of pisses him off a little bit. And actually, he just like turns around and starts walking away. Kind of in a little bit of he's a little pissed off. Okay, so that's that. It's your next round of initiative. 2 on their side.
1. I'm sorry, guys.
They're going first. The guys with the spear, the 3 Naganatas and the spear guy, turn and run. Having seen their leader slain. They don't run out of the house, they like run out into the woods.
Yeah. My response is to try and step out and grab one of the shuriken guys. Like physically grab them.
You guys are dead. There's 1 spear, 3 Naganatas. You can try to grab somebody if you want.
Yeah, the martial arts.
Yeah, you can chase them down.
Grapple.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're definitely faster than there. Let me just quickly check.
Okay. I'm going to initiate the grapple with one of them.
Yeah, you can do that. You can run forward and try to attack them that way.
Okay.
Go ahead.
17. I don't think I get any modifiers.
No, but that definitely hits. All right, so you grab him. Will you use your? Whoa, my cat.
I'm gonna use that lock number 1.
Okay, so you're putting a chokehold on him.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Put him into a triangle choke.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, the other one's boot unless people want to chase them. Do you guys want to chase or somehow engage the other 3 that are running?
One of the ones that are closest to him, Yuzaki's gonna try and see if he could cut him down on his back.
You can do that. You get +2 on the attack because it's his back. I mean, you have to run forward a little bit, but you can. Okay.
And he's gonna yell.
I was gonna say if we can close. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
He's gonna yell, "Kisama, where are you going?" And then he pulls out his sword and does his diagonal /cut attack on one of them, and he rolls 11.
And +2, so that should hit, right? Or is 11 with the +2?
It's actually 11 with the +2.
Okay, yeah, so I don't.
And 4.
Yeah, no, it hits. Yeah. No, just misses. You needed a 12.
Okay.
Yes, you're running away and you kind of like swipe at him and he gets out of your range. How about Obi or?
Obi, yeah, Obi will definitely keep going. That was his. So they run past him as he cut down the leader. He's going to chase after whichever's closest and go for a big slash. I am rolling. I have a 10 plus the 2 plus the 1 is a 13.
That hits for sure.
I am rolling the damage. 2d4. 6 total damage.
Cool. That cuts him down. He drops. Okay, so this one that's being choked. Oh, what about Katsumi?
Are they running towards the well at all?
No, they're running away. Basically behind us.
Okay, can I still throw some shurikens at them?
Sure.
Okay, sure. I'll just try to target one of them, try and bring it down.
Yeah, they are...
Okay, 1 hits.
Yeah, still medium range. Okay, perfect. Do some damage.
And the other one does not.
Okay.
The one that hits does do 3 damage.
Okay. Let's see which one you hit.
No, I'm sorry. It only does 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay. He gets it in the back, but he keeps running.
Okay.
The one that is in the chokehold tries to escape and gets a 10 on the attack roll, which I think does not hit you. Let's see, a 10 only hits armor class 8. What is your armor class with your martial art? This is with your martial art, really, you have it right. Armor class 6. So it does not break the chokehold. So that means he's out, I think. Skip attempt. Can we try?
With the dexterity, I'm armor class 5.
Right. Yeah, it definitely doesn't hit you. Once applied, the choke must be maintained until the end of the next round. So he gets one more chance to get away, basically.
Yep.
I'll just roll that now since nothing else is going on. And he does not. So he passes out.
So after that completes, he's unconscious for a D3 rounds.
Yep, he's out. So 2 of them got away. But 1 is choked out. And the rest, you have a bunch of dead bodies laying around. You turn around and you probably like look around, kind of catching your breath, and you see that Hoj is like sitting now on the edge of the well, eating a melon.
Okay.
Okay. What would you like to do? Anybody?
I suggest that we search the house and make sure that there are no more of those creatures left inside.
Okay. I feel like I left a die. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. You do that.
Kenichi walks over to Hoji and says, "Hey, Hoji, do you recognize their leader?"
No, I don't know these creatures.
But these are the Makumono that you talked about before, yes?
Well, there are many. There are thousands of Bakumo. I've never seen these before.
Why would they be in the area like this?
Well, normally they don't operate alone. They're usually being led by a smarter creature. Probably they want the riches of the farm or the people.
You suspect that they are being driven to attack like this, no?
Yes.
Good. You are with us until the end, yes?
Until they're dead, sure. Yes.
Good. You are an honorable creature.
Thank you.
So, Hoj, to be clear, did you eat children recently from the village?
Yes.
Okay, no, I was just curious if it had been these goblin type creatures or it had been you. Not blaming you. I'm sure children are delicious. Just thinking out loud.
Well, they're definitely delicious. You can only imagine. Or you could eat some.
I could.
Easy to catch.
Right?
How about the farmer here? Is there any indication where he or his remains may be?
So you're going to go inside as
Yeah.
we had a suggestion.
Yeah, if the priest is gonna go inside, I'll pull out my Seracom and I'll pull out one of them and I'll go inside with them, taking a Taekwondo stance.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So you guys step into the place, and it's as described by Kenichi. It's a big open space. There's some like kind of silk-ish, like low quality silk, but curtains hanging, dividing up the space. There is a fire where it looks like there's like some bones in it and stuff that look like they're probably a leg bone of a person, but there's no more meat on it. Yeah, you see they whatever like little furniture they had and stuff is kind of like broken, and the place is kind of like, you know, there's like, it smells of urine. Like it's definitely like beasts have been in here.
Is the farm family here, or just the bones in the pit?
You don't see enough bones to justify an entire family, but there are several curtained off areas that you haven't explored.
Take a quick look in each one of those at staff range. Just open the curtains with my staff.
Okay, yeah, you pull the curtain back, and you find a total of, as you go through the whole thing and push all the curtains back, you find a woman and 3 children that are they're tied up and gagged.
I will definitely release them and let them out.
Okay, yeah, they're obviously happy to have been saved. I mean, they're a little groggy because they were beaten, but they're like, oh, the creatures. The creatures, she says, they killed my grandfather. I think they were going to kill us.
I'll take them out of the building and show them that they've already been avenged for the grandfather, and only 2 of the whole group got away, and they will not be away for long.
Okay. She says, yes, they were looking for his notebook. I don't know why. But they never found it.
A notebook? What kind of profession was your grandfather in?
He is a melon farmer.
Yes. That's interesting.
Hoj.
Yeah.
Was the melon farmer one of your recent acquisitions?
No, I love melons.
Hoji, I have to ask you another question. Would you have eaten the children if they kept on giving you the offering of melons?
No. Melons are delicious.
He turns to the other guys and says, somebody does not like the town. They must have somehow slain the melon farmer here to cause Hoji to attack the town's children. I think something else must be controlling these events.
Seems to be the case.
This seems to be a wise line of inquiry.
How many melons would it take to appease your hunger so that the children of the local village would be safe?
Well, if they give me melons when I'm hungry, then I would eat melons.
Well, very good. We're going to have to make sure that they leave you enough melons. And if you get hungry, let's agree that you tell them that you would like more melons. You give them a chance to come up with the melons before you eat their children.
What if I eat the children of just people passing by that aren't from the town?
No, that is not acceptable. And for the record, I will tell you, I hope you die in battle ahead. I will do what I can do, save you and protect you as my comrade. But you, for eating the children, you should die and be punished by the heavens.
Well, it's only children.
I would say that if children who are not part of the village, and you know all the children of the village because you watch them make the children, if they come into the town and they fall for it and they get into the water, then you should be able to eat them. Logically, since it is your bridge. But in the same thing, you shouldn't snatch them off the bridge. If they come into the water, following your voice or one of your tricks, then your trick worked. But you shouldn't snatch them off the bridge.
So I can eat travelers?
That is an odd way to reason. But Obi, for being a comrade in this battle, I will say no more.
Well,
yeah, that is.
He's not a man. He's not a man. You can't hold him to our standards. He is a Kappa. He's a creature of his environment.
Hey, Daniel, I sent you a message.
You can no longer hold a storm at fault than you could. All they have to do is make sure he has enough melons, and he won't eat people.
How about we negotiate with the family here to arrange a steady supply of melons to the village?
Absolutely, absolutely. Perhaps the village be willing to send a couple of their people here to become new melon farmers to ensure the safety of their own children.
From what we've been told so far, they have been making periodic offerings of melons to this creature to have it be appeased, but only because of the fact that the farmer has been killed and the supply of melons has dried out, that the creature has resorted to eating children.
Exactly. So I'm sure the farmers of the village, the rice village, would spare a couple people to come here and help farm melons because it's right down the road, and then make sure that our friend Hoj here has enough melons to not eat their children. It seems like a very equitable arrangement, and he plays his flute.
I propose a further to this line of thinking. If we could arrange a marriage between the woman here with the children who has the farm and a suitable gentleman from the village would have a marriage link, and I could officiate such a ceremony.
If the woman was interested in such a thing, that would be an option, but it should be her choice.
Oh, indeed, I totally agree. But such family arrangements prove mutually beneficial to both families.
By the end of this journey, we may have a funeral and a wedding.
So yeah, if you want to ask the woman, since she's right there, you could do that.
Well, before we talk about the wedding, who has most to gain from the downfall of the village down south?
Well, the children mentioned that their grandfather was the one that was eaten. Where is your father?
My father died many years ago, and my mother. I lived with my grandfather, she says, and I helped work the farm.
The children's father.
My father. She's like 19, and the children are like 12.
Oh, okay. So the kids are not hers; they're brothers and sisters.
No, they're not.
I got you.
Cousins, to be technical.
I got you.
Sorry, guys, we just had a power flicker here. If I blink out, we've just lost power. I'll be back on shortly.
Okay. Yeah, they are her cousins, her younger cousins. She's he's like a teenager. I mean, she's an older teenager, and they are like children.
What is your name, child?
So she is called Suki.
Suki?
Mm-hmm.
Suki, this is Hoj. Hoj is the Kappa of the Pachee Bridge, and he loves melons.
Yeah, he's eating a melon right now. He says, oh.
And as long as he has melons, he won't eat children. So you have an awful responsibility in that somehow or another, melons must make it from this farm to at least the bridge to appease our friend Hoj here. Is this something you're willing to accept, or do we need to find someone else to run the farm?
So she says to you, this is my family's farm, and I will run it. You saved me, so of course I would do whatever is necessary. But don't think for a second that you can take my farm.
No, we're not gonna take the farm. We were going to offer it to someone else in case you didn't want to be here anymore.
You were going to offer a farm that's owned by me and my family to somebody else.
I can see you're in shock because your grandfather was eaten. So just recognize that we saved you, and we're just trying to help the situation.
I'm gonna rub my head slightly, and I'm gonna step outside with the with everything that's going on right now.
I believe I have a better negotiating position than you two guys, as well as a out of character, a lot better charisma.
Absolutely. Jump in anytime.
And offer to make a family connection with the village up the road, maybe for a steady exchange of rice for melons, mutually beneficial to both villages. And if one of the folks here was willing to seal that arrangement with a family marriage to one of the families from the fishing and rice village, maybe a mutually beneficial arrangement could be made. Would they be willing to entertain and discuss that idea?
Yeah, let me see. You're a priest. What's your charisma?
13.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. So yes, she actually is very much in favor of that. Not necessarily her, but maybe one of the children could be in a arrangement.
Yes, more discussion between you and the elders of the other village. Maybe an appropriately aged young man or young woman from the village could marry her or one of the cousins, and set up a mutual trade agreement between the two villages.
That sounds reasonable. For sure.
In that case, now that you're safe here, we will return in a couple of days with a representative from the village and further this discussion. But right now, I believe we have some more bakemono to pursue.
Before we go off, how did the attack begin that led to your grandfather's death? Did the monsters just barge in and slay your grandfather?
They came in the night. We were sleeping, and they broke in, and it was very dark. Could not see, but they took us by force. Strangely, the children did not wake. Only myself and grandfather. But they didn't see the terrible deeds that happened.
I'd be willing to officiate a memorial service for your grandfather as well at the appropriate time.
Okay, yeah, I mean, she would totally be on board with that for sure. Yeah, obviously they need to collect the ashes from the fire pit because that's where his body is right now. So, and she's going to go into mourning. But if you want to come back in 7 days or whatever the classic time period would be, you know, she could. You know, she's a little nervous to go to the town by herself. If you want to bring somebody from the town, like you said, or come get her, she'd be more than willing to do that.
Very willing to make these arrangements for you.
Ryuzaki at this point goes over to the children.
Okay.
Just so that, you know, he wants to, you know, make sure that she's not behind anything. He walks over to the children and says, "Hello, children!" And then he smiles.
Lifts up his eye patch. I'm intimidating you.
He does his best to look friendly, but he ends up coming off as like a, you know, very intimidating monster-like kind of guy. But
strangely, children, like for some reason, don't have the prejudices usually of adults. So they're actually not as freaked out as an adult would be. They think you're
all right.
They look
okay,
at you.
So
they're eating melons now. They're actually eating melons with Hoj.
Okay.
Oh my.
So Ryuzaki at this point says, "Well, at home I have 3 children, not too older than you are."
Oh. Wow.
How are you holding up, children?
We miss Grandpa.
And the woman over there is your sister?
She's our cousin.
Cousin. How long has she been living with you?
2 seasons.
2 seasons. Very good. And she is very nice to you?
Yes.
That is good. Well, children, I am so sorry that we could not save your grandpa. But we will be around. Do not be too afraid.
Thank you.
He does his best to reassure the children and rejoins the group.
Okay. Yeah, you get the sense that they seem somewhat reassured. They're still a little nervous. Hode says, if you wanted, maybe I could stay with the children to protect them.
That's extremely generous for you to offer, but perhaps it would be better if you came with us.
Yes, children. These children are not for eating.
Look at that one's really plump. The children of the village are so skinny.
Not the best option here.
This plump child needs to grow up to be a melon farmer so that he may bring you melons for many, many years, and that his children can bring you melons for many more years afterwards.
I do like melons.
The longer these children live, the longer you'll have melons.
Okay, he goes back to eating melons.
I asked Suki about her father's journal again, and what the Bakamono would want with a journal, seeing as normally they do not care for written stuff, being beasts and savages.
That and a farmer who can write.
Yeah, she doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't know why they would want it, but she heard them talking while she was unconscious. Like, they didn't come in and ask for it. They just came in and killed him and then smashed her over the head and tied them up. But she heard them saying that they were looking for the journal or notebook.
I recommend we search the leader and the other bodies and see if we find if they have found it. And if not, we may ask to see if we can find out what they would be looking for. See if we could find the journal in the house without ransacking the place, but definitely looking for it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You guys can search the house. The leader is wearing kind of pieced together armor. It's too small for any of you to use, but he did actually have a katana, which is really nice, like nicer than he should have by far. They have kind of cut down weapons, though, the rest of them, so they're not super useful for you guys. And they've got a little bit of a coin on each one of them, but not a lot. They have like, let's see, each one has 12 fen. So I'm going to go to that too. So each one has 12 fen, and the leader has each. Leader has 5 tail. Which are like basically copper pieces, silver pieces, more or less, and 20 fen, like a little sack or whatever. But most of what they've got is kind of junk. They're essentially like a goblin, so they're pretty...
I would offer that the cousins receive all of the coins and compensate for their losing their grandfather and being assaulted by these monsters.
Perhaps not all the wealth that we found. We have to compensate for the parents of the other town who lost their children.
I believe we may find more when we chase down these other Bakamono and whoever their other leader is. This family could use this copper and silver to get back on their feet.
Wise words.
Obi's going to talk directly to Hoj. Hoj, would you be willing to perhaps offer up some of these other little shiny bits that you don't like to eat to the village for the loss of their children, so that we may get everybody on the right path for them giving you offerings and you protecting the bridge there?
I don't have anything else.
In your 385 years of life, you had one small bag of gems?
And prayer beads.
And nothing else in all that time?
That's right.
Katsumo's horse and saddlebags are not the only thing you have found in that length of time.
Children don't usually have much.
True.
What about the merchant you ate recently? He didn't have anything on him? Merchants are known for carrying many things.
I don't really remember. He was kind of fatty.
Anyway, moving on.
Should we chase down the rest of the Bakemono and try and find where they were layering before attacking here?
If there were, what was the end number? If there was like 6 inside and 3 came out, and there were 4 outside, like 9 or
there was a total of 13.
13. If there were 13 in this small of an area, so if they had a small roving band of 13, one has to assume that wherever they go, they're going to have a lot more. So if you're prepared to walk up on, say, 100 of these, then I would say, yes, we should follow them.
Maybe today might not be the wisest course of action. I will use my spells to heal you up, and maybe we return to the other village for the night, refresh tomorrow, and maybe bring back the representative and then chase them tomorrow.
Perhaps the 3 cousins should come with us to the village tonight to further the deal of possibly having somebody marry into the family, and also keep them safe in case the goblins come back.
That is a very wise idea.
This is indeed a wise idea. Everybody is safe that way. Okay. And Hoj gets to go home today.
Right. Yeah, Hoj definitely wants to go home. There's so there's the one woman and then the 3 children.
3 children. I'm sorry, 3 children.
Yeah.
The cousins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily even have to be one of these particular members if there is more extended family, but something to discuss anyway.
Well, clearly, the young lady identifies with the farm, so she should have the last decision.
Yeah,
she's the eldest of her generation, so the farm is now hers, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's kind of effectively the head of the family at this moment, even though she's really young. Okay, so you go on and head back. Yeah, it's kind of late in the afternoon. Yes. So you want to get back before it gets dark, probably.
Indeed.
Cool. All right, sure. Yeah, so you're heading back. You take the. They have a. Which the creatures did not kill. They have a couple of mules, to which they load on the children. 2 children on one on the other, and then the girl will lead them. Suki will lead them.
But before we leave completely, what were the conditions of their weapons? Were their weapons worthwhile keeping in any way?
The creatures, only the katana, which looked really, really nice. The rest of it was, I mean, they're usable, but they're not. They're kind of.
This is an excellent sword.
Right.
My companions, would you mind if I were to use this in the battles that we may come to be in near future?
Of course. I have no problem using it. I would never use such a lowly weapon.
Lowly weapon? Well, I am glad you think that way then. I shall use it. And he takes that sword.
The naganatas and the spears were certainly better than what most rice farmers would have, so we could bring it to them to help arm them.
Oh, for them? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do that. They're cut down a little bit, but they're certainly useful.
He looks at he gazes upon the sword and comes up with another haiku. He says, "Katana flashes. Blood is spilt in the darkness. You fall, I stand." And then he nods to himself. "I shall call this sword Puppy."
My hearing's bad. What did you call it?
Puppy.
Okay.
Okay, cool. It is actually
That was a great idea.
it's actually you're examining it. It is what they call a katana of quality. So it's not magical, but you get a +1 to hit with it because it's exceptionally sharp. So,
Well, there you go.
Make note that you get an additional +1 with that katana, and it's quite valuable. If you were to sell it, it's worth like 10 times the price of a normal katana. So, definitely not something one of these creatures would normally have. So you must have picked it up somewhere. Okay, so yeah, you guys are heading back, and as you're getting close to the, you can actually see the lake. You're kind of passing through. You're back into the kind of the bamboo thickets again, and out steps into the middle of the street the two guys that ran away with their naginatas out, and directly behind them, a quite large fellow who is not one of them.
We forgot to play out my healing for the couple of us that got wounded before we left town.
You did that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. You had mentioned.
How damaged are you guys?
I'm at about half health.
I had 22, and I now have 7.
Well, let's see what we can do for you with what I had left. You can heal 7 on that one, John. And who is the other one?
Kitsumi. She has only about half health left, 6 points of HP left. She only has 12 total.
Oh, so she's the Wujen?
Yes.
5.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Did Obi and Kenichi. Did Kenichi take any damage?
Kenichi only took 3 damage. He's okay.
Oh. And Obi's still quite wounded, right? Almost.
Yeah,
half?
he had 7. You healed him 3. I just looked at my notes. He had 7. You healed him for 3 before. You just healed him for 7. So he has 17 right now.
Okay, I'll keep my last spell in reserve.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that all happened before you left. So
okay,
out steps into the street, maybe like 100 yards in front of you. These two creatures. Then shortly after steps a much taller creature, some 10 feet tall, blue skin, green hair. It has a horn coming out of its forehead. And it's wearing kind of pieced together armor and holding a very large naginata. You would anybody who's an adventurer would recognize this as an ogre. So it steps out and it says to you, calls out to you, "Why have you killed my foot soldiers?"
Kenichi steps up and says, "Because they're uglier than I am."
He grins.
Obi looks over at Hoj and says, "Hoj, now might be a good time for you to grow 5 times your size and show us what your secret weapon was in that jar."
I'm gonna not even wait for combat to start.
Mm-hmm.
Start casting a spell. It's a full round spell, but I want to cast Bless on all of us here.
Okay, so you start casting. He because he's a super confident ogre. He's not going to attack you right away. So he sees you casting, but he's not worried. And he says, "You realize honor dictates that I must now kill you and eat your entire families. So be sure to tell me your family name before I slay you."
Did Hoj answer my question?
I do not think that you want to tell my family that you killed me. For you would be dead before you even took a breath.
I'm going to eat your family.
If I die, you may attempt to.
I guess I'm casting a spell. I can't tell him I don't have a family.
I shall tell you my family name. My family is Hoj right here. He's a brother in arms. And he slaps Hoji in the back.
He was, oh, yes. You ugly ogre. Are we going to kill this thing? He looks at you.
Well, Hoji, now's your time. Do something.
We shall.
What should I do?
Grow 5 times your size and use your secret weapon.
Look at the size of that meat. It's time for you to eat something, yes?
Oh, disgusting. I will kill this creature for you if you can get me one more child.
Agreed.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
You all are terrible at riddles. Yes, we will get you a child. Wink.
Oh, yes.
Ah, indeed. I understand.
Okay, sure.
Obi's going to step forward. I am Kobe Kasabuki, Heaven's Cleaver Jubai.
Okay.
And I will kill you.
Okay.
He pulls out his Dao.
Nice. So the ogre, I lost his name. Sorry. We're time to lose the name. Okay, I'm just going to use his name. The ogre tells you his name is Akira. I am Akira. Know my name before I kill you. And he takes like 2 steps in front of the 2 little guys. Has his weapon out.
I'm gonna pull out my
challenge you.
My Sigaham.
Okay. He's directly challenging the Kensei.
Obi was going to take off his upper hakama and tie it into a knot on his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And say, Akira, honor dictates I must play your death song first. And he starts playing a song.
Okay. He looks at you.
It's a delaying tactic. He's going to play the song as long as he can to let them prepare.
I figured you were going to do that. So he waits a little bit, and then he says, enough of this foolishness. Are you a coward?
No, I am a musician. Stand by. He goes back to playing a song.
And then the Ryuzaki steps up and he says, I am Ryuzaki Kenichi, the retainer of Lord Korematsu. I have been a tax collector for the good portion of my life. But now I shall be one of your slayers, Akira. Prepare to face the sword of Korematsu. And then he draws his sword and steps forward as well, alongside Obi.
Okay. He does a little bit of showmanship with his naginata. Swings around, plops it down on the ground, and then he says, let's fight. So let's roll initiative. So I guess we'll do...
these creatures from earlier. Can I tell which one I hit with my with that shuriken I had earlier?
What do you mean, which one? They're not
One
around.
is still wounded?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Are they still wounded?
Oh, yeah.
It was the 2 that ran away.
Oh, these 2 little guys? Yeah. You can. Well, actually, both of the 2 that ran away are both wounded, and they both were hit in the back. So they both have like a bandage.
Okay, cool.
You don't know which one you hit particular because well, actually, they're pretty unique. You hit the orange one.
Okay, cool.
The other one is purple. Yeah, you definitely hit the one you hit before. Okay, so let's for this initiative, let's have John. You can do since he directly challenging you. You can roll initiative for the group.
Very well.
roll. He got a 6.
A D6.
Yep, roll a D6. High is better.
Yep, stand by. D6. I am rolling. And I have a 6.
Yes.
Okay, that's the worst.
Do I need to roll again?
No, it's a tie. So now we have to actually. Now it's based on weapon speed.
Okay, I have a 5 with the Dow.
Okay. What's the katana? What's your weapon speed?
Do I get a +1 advantage on that one? Also?
Don't think so.
Your speed is by your weapon type.
Yeah. But if it's +1, it would also reduce the weapon speed, correct?
Yes, actually. No. No, it's not a magic sword, so no. It only gets
okay.
+1. Only to it. Yeah.
It's just a finely crafted sword.
Yeah, it's not actually magic. Yeah, he's a 7, so you're gonna go first. And you're a katana, which is probably shorter than you're also 5. So yeah, you guys both go before him.
Okay.
What about who else? Yeah. Everybody's using weapons. Is everybody attacking this round? Let me just quickly figure out everybody's initiative. So I can have is 3, and what weapon does? Are you going to attack with your sling staff, or you're just casting that spell?
Actually, I think I'm going to do neither and use the kung fu to go in and grapple the one guy. One of the foot soldiers, the Bakemono.
All right. So you are actually going to go first because Fist has only 1 for weapon speed. Okay, and you actually you're gonna go first, and then the Wu-Gen, assuming you're using melee, or are you throwing missiles?
No, I have my Sierra Kami in my hand, but I don't know how to look at the speed on it. Oh wait, I found it.
Yeah, you're 3. I already looked.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're off of his. You actually technically get to attack twice before you go.
I can attack twice.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So instead of attacking the ogre, I'm going to attack these two little.
You have to.
Yeah.
Well, they also have measure. You can do that. You can do that. It's fine. Sorry to cut you off. You can do that because they have the same weapon. All right, go ahead. So the way it's going to work is martial arts first. So go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So I get to go first.
Well, just straight up fist martial arts first. I'm sorry. I know you're also.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to go for that lock number 1 again, and I rolled an 18. I got no modifiers.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits him. So try to get away. And go ahead now. So you get 2 attacks.
Okay. I'm going to hit 1 each and try to.
They're too far away from each other to do that.
Okay. Well, then I'll just. I'll go after the closest one then.
Okay, and he's holding 1, so you wouldn't be able to.
Okay. What's their armor class?
6.
Okay. Cool. So I need a 14 to hit. Yeah. So I missed both times. Great.
Okay. So okay. Coolio. Okay. Now we're going to the katana and the broadsword. You guys both attack simultaneously, but you can just go. I'll just go left to right to keep the numbers even. So John, go ahead and attack first. You're going after the ogre, right?
Yes, sir. Of course. Yep. He's going to jump up and do the big swing. And I'm rolling, and boom. 19, natural 19, and a 1. So 20.
Nice.
That definitely hits. Yeah, give me some damage. And he is size large. So
okay.
Damage here.
That has a difference, right?
Yep.
That's the second one, or is it the first one?
Second one. Yep.
So it's 1 less against a large target?
Maybe. Depends on your weapon.
Broadsword. It's 2-8 and then 2-7.
Yep, 2-7. So 1d6 plus 1.
Okay, here we go. Stand by.
Oh wait, didn't I have a bless? Did bless give me a +1?
I don't think it's gone off yet, has it?
No.
Yeah, it should have went off right after we stopped talking.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then you do have +1.
Okay, so one of those should have hit.
Okay, hold on. We'll go back to
+1 to hit bonus.
All right, I'll go back to it. Let's just handle one thing at a time. So, John, what is your damage?
It's a 5 + 1, 6. Now, does the +1 from the blast affect damage or just to hit?
I think it's just a hit.
Okay,
I believe it's just the hit.
very good. I mean, that's good. I was just asking.
Yeah.
It's a total of 6.
Okay, it's total of 6. Okay, so now let's just jump back to Crystal for a second. Okay, so you should have hit.
Yeah, I should have hit with 1, and that did 4 damage.
Okay, that actually kills it. Nice. Okay, and then the katana against the ogre.
Here we go. 3. So even if I add 5, that's
It'd be a lot of
that's 8.
It's okay. We forgive you. You are blind and ugly.
And I guess also, although he probably should have went first, the Kappa will also attack the ogre with his martial arts. 2 hit, he hits once. So he punches the ogre in the knee. Okay. Nice. Yeah, he runs up and punches him in the knee. And that is everybody on that side. Right. Oh, I have to see if the one guy escapes. He has to make a successful 2-hit against you, which he needs a 14 for. And he gets a 14. Actually,
He pulled it off?
oh, no, it's -2, so he fails.
Ah, yes, -2 for being.
Yep. Okay, so that's all he could do. But the ogre is now going to attack. And he does only get 1 attack. And there are 3 of you standing in front of him. So let me see who he attacks.
The ugly one-eyed guy.
He goes after.
Not the face, not the face.
He goes after Obi. And let's see. Oh, I think he probably misses then. Let's see.
Woohoo!
I'm not sure though. Let me just check because he's much higher.
I'm pretty sure he missed. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and move on.
7.
No.
So he's your AC 7. He's a much higher best monster, obviously. So he gets a different attack. All right, so he is actually here. And he rolled 9, 14, 15. Well, that almost has 1 actually, so that definitely hit you. He actually only needs a 9 to hit you, but he rolled a. Yeah, okay, so he hit you. And that does 12 damage. Ooh. 12 points of damage. The ogre comes down hard and does 12 points of damage against you with his giant Nagirata.
That's for Obi.
Yeah.
Stand by. 12 points. I got it.
He hit you that's basically as hard as he could possibly have. Oh, actually. This one. I mean, it still hits you, but actually, he actually attacks as a higher hit dice monster. I forgot. So he actually only needs. Holy crap! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's pretty good at hitting, so you might want to take him out quickly. Okay. That was next round. Next round. Initiative. He rolls a 4. Roll a d6 for me, John, for initiative.
Stand by. Rolling. I have a 4.
Oh, God. Simultaneous again. But luckily, we already figured it out. So, Crystal, you can actually go first, even though you killed that creature. If you want to turn around and I'm sorry, yeah, because you're still holding the one. Dean, sorry, now I'm using your real names because I closed my thing. So, Katasumi, you can attack the ogre if you'd like first. You go first. Because,
what about the other creature? Can I attack the other creature?
He's being held by your priest.
Okay.
I mean.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
I'll run up and jab the ogre in the shin.
Yeah.
Stab him in the gooch.
16 total? No, 17 total.
And his armor class is 4, so that definitely hits.
Okay. And 3 damage.
Nice. You get to go twice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, because you're
Stab him in the gooch.
Second one, I get a 13 total. Armor class 4.
Yeah, does that hit?
No, it would be like a 6. I need like a 16, I think.
Okay, yeah, so you don't hit the second one, but you poke him with the first one. Okay, so now, actually, I keep forgetting that I'll do them at the end anyways, though, because it's better the PCs kill the creature, but the 2 swords go now, if you just want to go in the order like we did last time, John first.
I got a quick question for you.
Yep.
Could I do dual wielding with katana and wakizashi?
You can. And what will happen is the main hand will be at a -2, so the katana, and the offhand will be at a -4. If you do that, because you have a shitty dex, right? Your dex is what?
Dex is actually 9, so that's
Okay, so just normal. So yeah, you're totally fine.
Okay, so how does that work out? So right now I got +5.
Yeah, if you have better dex, then you can actually get less of a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, if you're going to use let's say let's do the katana first. If you're going to attack with it, but you're also attacking with another hand, then you can get -2 on the katana attack. And then your second attack, you get -4 because you're unbalanced.
Gotcha.
You can if you want. It's awesome.
Okay. So -1. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack him with my katana.
Yeah, and also because the second round.
Hold on. We were going to go in the same order. I had something planned.
Okay.
You went first before. Now you were saying before when he was in melee that he could use half his movement and step out.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do a fight like a fighting retreat. Yep.
Could he do because he's a larger than life character? The idea is that I wanted to run past him, move right past him. So if he turned around to face me, he would put his back to.
Yeah, well, what you have to understand is that in first edition, a round is a minute. So it's not like you ran past him, he turns around. It wouldn't do anything because I don't use flanking. So
okay,
you can be behind him, but it won't make a difference. He's huge and he's just swinging around. So you can do it, and that's if you want to do that. Narratively, it's fine, but it's not going to give you any advantage.
He's going to have to step back. He's going to have to strategically retreat.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, because there's people between you and the ogre, he's not going to come forward and attack you probably.
All right, so that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to step out and strategically retreat.
Okay. Cool.
Regain his composure.
All right. Are you going to dual wield now? Is that your plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you step back. You can move up to half your movement. So you can move maybe 10, 15 yards back, out of range of basically his Nagata.
Very good.
Now, go ahead and make your attacks.
This is my must-kill move. I have refrained from using this style, but now I shall whip it out. And
Yikes.
he rolls 18 and +3, so he does considerable amount with his katana attack.
Nice.
Is it 1d10?
He's a large creature, so I think it might be d12.
1d12. 1d12, he rolls 7, and his damage bonus is actually +4. Is that right?
Yeah.
So 11 points of damage.
Wow. That's a lot of damage. All right, wow.
I'm curious why the Dow damage went down on a large creature.
Well, I could go back 20 years and tell you.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, right?
I mean, it's not weird because it has to do with how you use the weapon.
I got you.
Basically.
Very good.
That's the quick reason. I don't know that much about weapons to really tell you why, but that's how they base it.
Very good.
But some creatures do more against large and some do. Are you attacking with the Wakashi as well? That'd be -4 if you want to do
that. Yeah. So I'm gonna be attacking with Wakizashi. Do I wait for him to attack and then attack, or could I just go now?
This is what I started to say before, and I got my mind went all over the place. Because you are a specialist, you get 3 attacks every 2 rounds. This is actually technically your second round, so you actually get 2 attacks with the katana.
Okay.
The second one happened, so not yet.
And I just rolled 2, so that's a miss.
So the Wakasashi misses, and then
the blast isn't going to help you with that.
Yeah,
and then another katana.
Well, at the end of the round, you get it. You don't get it to the end. You go last, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, basically that's how multiple attacks work in first edition. It happens at the beginning and at the end.
All right.
We actually encountered the only bizarre initiative thing, which is tying initiative. We went twice. Don't do it again. It's amazing. What's our cleric doing? You're knocking the guy out, so I have to see if he gets out. Which he rolls 1, he goes unconscious.
He is now unconscious. Somebody else can take care of him later. I did not kill him.
You did not kill him. Yeah, he drops for whatever many rounds he drops for. So all that's left is the ogre, and he's actually he's shitting himself that he's about to die because they did just a massive amount of damage. So he's going to do his one really deadly thing. and he's going to shoot a cone of cold. Yeah. Now, you can only. This is how we're going to do it because you're kind of close to him, so I think it'd be hard for him to really hit everybody. So I'm going to say that he's going to target one person specifically, not the monk because or the Shujenga because you're behind him. So he's going to either attack the samurai or the kensei. Actually, because I feel bad because it's probably going to kill you. You get to roll. Both of you roll a d20, and whoever has the lowest number is who's going to attack. That's how I'm going to do it. So,
stand by.
Young and John roll.
I am rolling my d20 now.
Yeah.
Rolling and a 9.
Okay.
I just rolled 19.
Okay, so he's going to go after you. So you need to make a saving throw versus wands.
All right. Let me see what my wands thing is. 1 second.
Yeah.
I know I get +1.
Nice.
+1 for wands. It's going to be 15.
Okay, so that'll be for half damage.
Or no. Dun, 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 dun. 1 second. Rolling. And I have a 14 +1 is 15.
Oh, you made it. Okay, so you take half damage, which is 16 points of damage. That was very good that you made that. Because the thing with 32 points of damage, but you only take half.
Whoa.
So 16 points. Blasts you with a cold blast. Are you still standing?
Did you say 15?
16.
16? No. Well, he might be standing, but he's not alive.
Well, what does it knock you to?
I am doing the math right now. 1 second. That would put him at -7.
Okay, so you're still alive for 2 more rounds. Somebody can stop. Somebody can actually perform first aid on you.
All right, he is -7.
Yeah, you guys see your this blue ogre blast magic from its hands at your Kenzai friend who turns up just ice for a second over his whole body, then he drops on the ground. It looks like he's lifeless. But like I said, you can try to resuscitate him if you want. And then we're going into what is likely the last round of combat. So roll initiative. I guess, John, you've been doing it. So
stand by.
Do we need to know medicine to stabilize him?
You just need to say you're doing it.
He rolled a 5.
Okay, you go first. So what does everybody want to do?
Obi will remain still.
I'll go over and attempt. When I get the chance, I feel like I do the least damage against this monster, so I'll be the one to try to help Obi.
Okay, you can do that. You can just. He's basically his heart is stopped because he's got frozen, like in shock. So you just have to like give him like some CPR or whatever CPR is. But yeah, you can do it. There's no like roll for it. Just works.
As the ogre freezes Obi, Kenichi's gonna shout out, "Obi!" and then he's gonna get ready to attack.
Okay. Good.
This guy's not moving, so I think I'll try the sling to throw a sling bullet at or sling stone at the ogre.
Okay. I think he's close with the sword, so I'll let him go first, and then you'll have to load that thing up. So go ahead and use the katana first.
So Ryuzaki at this point says, "This is for Obi." He tries to jump up and slash, and he rolls. He rolls 13.
Which hits, I think. Well, 13 total or 13 with the...
Actually, 13 total.
Okay, so I think that he's...
And that includes the bless?
+1 for the bless.
Actually, that brings it up +1. So 14.
14, which is exactly what you needed to hit him. So that does hit him.
Woo! Thank you for blessing us.
The bless was worthwhile.
Yeah, and technically that's happening. I'm sorry, because I forgot to give you your last attack. So this is actually technically happening. You'll get to go again, too. So go ahead and do damage.
All right. So It was 1d12, right?
Yeah, D12 against the ogre.
Actually, this time only 2 plus 4, so that's 6 points of damage.
Okay. He's you slice him across the belly and almost got him. Like he's like stumbling back. And you actually get to go again because that was actually technically the end of last round.
And then combo. He rolls. Actually, he totally misses. I got 7.
I think you thought you had him, so you were he stepped back, so you missed him. Cool.
Wakizashi this round?
What's that?
Is he double wielding with the Wakizashi this round?
Actually he is. So.
Oh, okay, he did that. Right.
Wasn't that the Wakizashi attack just now?
No, that was a katana.
Okay. So do I go again with the Wakizashi?
You go at the end.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That always happens at the end. That's just always the way. It's like a weird first issue.
Okay.
Either way, John, do you want to be the Kappa? You want to attack for him? Yeah, he actually gets 2 attacks with his martial arts. So if you want to roll an attack.
I am rolling right now. I've got a 14 and a 20.
Well, okay.
Holy smokes.
Which hit.
Just straight. I don't know if there's any bonuses, but that's straight rolls.
No, that's straight up. Yep, both of which hit. And he only had 2 hit points left after that massive cut with the katana. So 2 hits hitting him is going to kill him. So, yep. Oj jumps up and the guts fall out.
Well, he has at least +1 on each just from the bless spell.
Yeah, exactly. So he.
I don't know if the bless would work on a Kappa, would it?
Yeah, I don't think the bless would work on him.
It might give him diarrhea or something.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely avoided the range of that thing. So yeah, you're as you're loading up your flingstone, this thing just drops to the ground and guts are pouring out all over the place, and the Kappa kind of holds his nose and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to eat that." But yeah, he actually has on him, if you were to, he has this giant naginata, which is probably not that useful to you guys because it's so big. But he does have like a sack, which has
gross.
Yeah. But then, yeah, he does some treasure. If you know some coins and stuff that he's looted and stuff like that. There's also like weird shit, like it smells decayed and there's some bones and shit in there. But if you look inside this sack, it does actually have some strings of coins.
Nice.
And yeah, he's clearly dead now. And at this point, basically, you would you'd be able to go back to the village to make the whatever deal that you wanted to make. This guy is clearly the mastermind behind it, and although why, I'm not sure exactly. He was looking for something, but you told him, so you don't really have any way of knowing. And yeah, you're able to make a deal, with the village to work with this farmer. Now the thing with Hodge is he's willing to not eat any of the villagers' children as long as he gets his melons.
We did promise him that he was going to eat 1 child.
Yep, but we did not say when. And we did not say it was a human child.
Good point.
Yeah, he looks at you and he says, well played.
I'm sure we could find a Bakemono child somewhere.
Nice.
He looks at you, he gives you a dirty look, and he says, I wouldn't eat that. So I will just wait till the next traveler comes by and I will eat that child. As you told me it was okay.
I'm sure that we could find a worthy child for your appetites.
Do you have any? I'm going to ask the villagers. Do you have any fertilized chicken eggs?
What? No.
I love that train of thought.
Yeah, he's not very happy with you messing with him, but he wanted to kill the ogre anyways. He technically did agree to help you. So he's letting you slide. We'll say that. Although
don't give up the hope yet. I mean, you've lived this long. Give me 1 year, and I will get you a child. Have faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay with that. You said that you would do it, so he's fine. I mean, if you say. He's not very happy about not being able to child right now, but he's happy to have the melons. And, you know, he's happy to have the melon children that he knows where they live now. So, you know, is what it is. And he goes back into the water, having helped you. And the village is now, you know, happy to know that there's some kind of a deal made, although it seems a little unclear to them exactly what's happening. But they're happy you saved the woman, and the deal made with the farm is very beneficial to them because there is actually a family who has a young boy that is just about getting to the age where they need to, you know, look for a wife. So they make a deal, and you guys arrange this marriage. They don't actually. Let me see if there's actually. I think I'm gonna have the younger girl for sure, but let me just see. Yeah, there's no like men around the right age for Asuki, but. The younger child, not the oldest of the young children, they make a deal to have her wed one of the children from the village, and she stays in the village, obviously, to live with them until they're of age. And yeah, well done. You were able to make a deal on some level with the Kappa, and you did get some treasure, which I'll figure out. If you have to keep these characters, I'll send you like a list of what the treasure was there. There was a little bit of besides the katana, there was some treasure inside the ogre's sack. Like I said, some coins. And the broadcast, and
as a follow up, what did the Kappa think of the sweetened rice? Is that something that interested him at all? Remember, I had them making the dish for him.
Yeah, I mean, if they go to the bridge and offer him the rice, he takes it.
Is it something that interests him like as much as the melon? I mean, is it something that interested his palate?
No, definitely not.
Okay, it was worth a try.
Yeah, the melons are what he wants.
Okay, melons what he's going to get.
Melons or babies, basically, or horses.
Okay.
But
yeah, I can see that.
It was good. I mean, he's not opposed to it, and you actually find during the feast, they have a feast for you at the village, that a few of the villagers actually come forward and now that deals were made, and they actually talk about beneficial things the Kappa has done for their families over time, and it's not necessarily a. I mean, it's definitely evil, but it also is. Has done positive things like helping various families during certain periods when they needed food and stuff like that. So it's kind of like it does actually watch the area, and they're happy to have it as long as it doesn't eat the children. So they've kind of rekindled that relationship with the Kappa for now, anyway. So you definitely have made that connection, which is really nice. And yeah, very good. Okay.
Now I just need to find him a kid.
All around.
There's all kinds of orphans around. I'm sure there's some orphan that needs a home.
Yeah. They'll pretend like they didn't know you said that.
Actually, isn't he knocked out?
Yes, you are actually.
That stabilized him, but he's still like unconscious.
I figured this was all dream sequence. I was just working with it.
That is actually true. You're right.
As long as we can keep him alive till morning, I can get more stealth to heal him.
Doesn't matter. Once you've gone below 0, you're basically. I mean, he's awake, but you're basically bedridden for a week. So you're gonna have to. And you're all hurt anyway. So maybe you stay in the village for a week while you're starting to heal up. But you actually can't do. Unlike later editions, once you go to 0 hit points, it doesn't. Nothing will bring you back. Like once you're down, you're out for a week after you get healed. No matter how many. So you get to rest.
Okay.
So Ryuzaki goes over to Obi and says, "You have fought most honorably. You're a warrior that I would be proud to stand with any time in the future." And then Ryuzaki turns to the rest and says, "Now, how do I get to Pachee? Because I have to collect taxes."
That is correct. So it's actually not very far to Pachee, and they do actually. The villagers give you a decent map, so you can head over there to get the taxes, which can actually be deposited at the city hall where the rest of the group is heading, so you can all continue to travel together once you get the taxes and come back.
Nice.
We'll say that adventure goes without hitch.
Cool. That was an awesome